Yes, forgot the damn quote again. Oh, every week I'm like, I must change the quote, and then I totally don't. I don't know. Hey everyone, welcome. It's Sunday. It's that time of the week. It's Warhammer Sunday. That time of the week when I sit down and crack on building some Warhammer, ready to leave it to be painted later on in the year, in the coming weeks. But this is when I do all my building, get it all out of the way. So welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. Hope you're having a good day so far. If you've not seen one of these before, I do have the live chat here in front of me on iPad, so if you're watching this embedded in YouTube or Facebook or somewhere else, do come and join in the live chat. You should do. It's all awesome people in the live chat, and we all have a jolly good time. So come and join it. If you're watching somewhere else, click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner down here somewhere. Click to YouTube where you can join in the live chat, and you should, because that's where all the cool kids go. Now, before we get going, the usual shout outs to all my people that make this possible. First and foremost, my wonderful, lovely, fluffy patrons and YouTube channel members who became patrons and members in various ways. They either went to patreon.com/modelmakingguru to become a patron, or they clicked the join button underneath one of my videos or live streams to become a channel member. So big thank you to them. They support this channel. They literally put food on my table. I mean, literally put food on my table every month. So without them, this channel wouldn't exist, and I wouldn't be here. So big, massive thank you to them. And to my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk. I'll get that again. Let's try that one again. Hang on, swig of water. There we go. emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk. One-stop shops for all your model making and tabletop gaming needs. Use the links in the description below. Tells them I sent you, and that way I can make a little income at no cost to you. So welcome one and all. It's Warhammer Sunday. I need to take my socks off. Oh, do you know? I always put my socks, keep my feet warm. I've obviously got socks on, but as soon as I turn the cameras and lights on and stuff, I get really warm, and I always forget to take my socks off. Even if it's cold in here, as soon as I turn all the lights on, it gets really warm. Yes, hello everybody, hope you're all well. I'll have a quick look at chat and see who's in a moment. But today we're going to be cracking on again, still with the Space Wolves Border Combat Patrol. I can't remember what the hell things. I keep wanting to say start collecting. It's the Combat Patrol set. We've done the My First Gundam Walker. We've done all the intercessors. Now we just need to do the Reavers, and I've done one and a bit of a Reaver. We've got 5 of these guys to do. So that's all we've got left. Once these are done, that's it. I can move on to the next thing then. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, if I pull my finger out, I might actually get all of these done today. I won't get all of these done today. But I think, even if I don't finish all these today, I'll finish them off later on, and then we'll just start the new thing next week. So we're going to be cracking on with that. Let's have a quick look at chat and see who's in before we get going. We have many people's in chat. The first person I can see is Cy Reynolds. Welcome, Cy. Big hugs to Cy Reynolds. Won Golden Demon twice, He's twice Golden Demon winner. So big hello to Cy. Wendy Dixon. Wendy Dixon? Who the hell's Wendy Dixon? Wendy Hickson, even. One of my channel members. You can tell because she's got a little icon next to her name. Big hugs to you, Wendy. And Max McGinn. Hello, Max. Who else have we got in? Cy Reynolds. Max McGinn, everybody saying hello to each other. Dan, Quanoman Dan is in. Welcome, Quanoman, and Johnny as well, and Nim. Johnny was in. He's got to go and walk the girlfriend's dogs. He'll be back soon. So hello, and see you in a bit. I'm going to move this out of the way. It's right in the way there. So hello to Johnny, and hello to Nim. How you doing, Nim? Big Nim hugs. Scale Model Muse is in. Welcome. We have Panzer Koenig is in. Welcome to you as well. William Rayborn, good morning, good afternoon, everyone again. Good morning, afternoon / Dad at Scaly Models, one of your moderators, as is Cy Reynolds, of course. Your moderators are lovely, fluffy florist? Yes, they're lovely, fluffy florist creatures, apparently. Hang around in the shrub section. They'll keep you safe in chat and they'll keep you protected. But if you cross them, they'll basically glue you to a piece of card and hover you like 100 feet above the ground from a helicopter, a bit like the old super glue adverts, but it'll be crap glue and you'll fall off and die. So don't cross the mods. Don't cross the mods. Wow, all my words are wrong today. I chose the wrong day to not have a cup of coffee on my bench. Oh, I know. I don't know. Who else do we have in? Mordraka is in. Welcome, Mordraka. Zorg is in. Not seen you in chat before, Zorg, so welcome. He says, in big capital letters, I hate you. You dragged me into the Warhammer 40k rabbit hole, and now I am working on a 2,000-point Sisters army and a 2,000-point Admech army. This is correct. My work here is done. Welcome to the stream, and also the crack addiction that is Games Workshop's Warhammer goodness. Yes. So hello. Who else do we have in? Let's have a look. The main issue with Fox's intro is it sounds so epic, yet he may do an arm at most. This is indeed an issue. I come up with these, like, sometimes occasionally epic title sequences, and the content that follows it just doesn't even begin to... No, I know. What can I do? I can't have mediocre, very slow, not much happens title sequence. It doesn't really work. Who else have we got in? Cole Fox is in, says Fox. Welcome, Cole Fox. Oh, hang on, chat jumped. Hey... who else have we got? Festa67's Workshop, another one of your lovely mods. Colin is in and just says, Pimpage. Yeah, Pimpage. Welcome, Col. Again, Colin's a lovely little florist creature, apparently. He hangs around more the perennial section rather than the shrub section. But again, he will burn you alive in a very small box underground if you cross him, so don't cross the mods. Gemma Williams is in. Welcome, Gemma. Hi all again. Only lurking is trying to find something I put away in a safe place. Hooks to wall. Yeah, I learned a long time ago that whenever you put something in a safe place, you'll never find it again. What you need to do is put it somewhere not secure at all, and then everybody will find it all the time. It's a downside, but at least you'll be able to find it when you need it. Let's have a look. Anybody else new in? Mordraka is in. I think that's everybody. It's just jumped. Phil East is in. Welcome, Phil. How you doing, my friend? Right, I think that's everyone. If I've missed you, I do apologise. Dad, of course, asks the most important question, bench and belly. What's on your bench? What are you working on right now? Could be a model, could be a jigsaw, could be building something out of wood. What are you up to? And belly, what's in your belly? What are you eating for your dinner, or what have you had for your dinner? And do tell me, I want to know. So there we go. Let's have a look. Zorg says, I kind of want to do something with the Drew Careys that came in the Faith and Fury box, and that Sarzek model along with these Imperium magazines are making me want to start Necron. Just buy all the things. You should do all the things, I think. Bench is my McFarlane Adeptus Sororitas figure, says Nim. I'm painting her to look like my D&D character. Belly is empty, maybe some original sun chips. Do that. Yeah, Nim never had any interest in Warhammer, really. Now she's kind of, without realising it, building an Adeptus Sororitas army. Kind of. I had nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. She's also bought the big McFarlane figures. Nothing to do with me. I deny everything. Yeah, you got my normal thumb down, lol, and I got paid. You taught me well, Mr. Fox. There you go. Good girl. I probably got a thumb down already. I think. Probably, I would have been surprised. Belly says Mordraka, chicken stir fry with a side of Kraken and Coke, bench Necrons. Did someone take their socks off? There is a what? Quanoman says, did someone take their socks off? All the spelling. Did someone take their socks off? There is a funny pong around here. Yes. F you, Fox, says Cy Reynolds. Love you too. Every sodding opportunity. Exactly. I always try and get in that he's got 2 golden demons. I don't like to talk about it normally, but, so I won't normally mention that he's got 2 golden demons, but sometimes I will mention that he's got 2 golden demons, just because, I want to mention that he's got 2 golden demons. Zorg says, wait, what? McFarlane Toys made an Adeptus Sororitas figure. Yes, they've done an Adeptus Sororitas, as well as a big Space Marine and a Necron. I didn't realise it. I think it's a new release. It's the artist proof. Mouth words, Foxy. I'm trying, Muse. Some people say very trying. Cy Reynolds missed the hug. Hug's back. I'm not down the hole, says Colin, but you'll have to shout, Col. I can't really hear you from all the way down in that hole. Where are we? Max McGeehan says, Belly, chicken roast dinner with parsnips and mixed veg, and of course roasty potatoes and chicken gravy. Bench, finishing up painting 3 armoured sentinels with magnetised weapons for Imperial Guard. Yeah, Colin, you need to get some sentinels. You do. They're not expensive. Colin, you're so far down the hole, you're about to be... I'll start that again. Cy Reynolds says, Colin, you're so far down the hole, you're about to be rebirthed as a Space Marine. I edited that for language. Yes, pretty much. Or an orc. He's not going to be a Space Marine, he'll be an orc. Colin, you're sitting on my shoulders as I fell in right before you, says Muse. Everybody knows Colin's so far down the hole he's never getting out. Nim Cinderin says she likes the helmet. Moving on. Phil East, hey Muse, Colin didn't fall, he's just wearing a green face paint and shouting Daka for unrelated reasons. Getting some Carpaccio tonight, says Pascal Leaverse. Welcome, Pascal, my friend. Currently on the bench, some Poxwalkers, but stuck on how to paint the tentacles. There's many, many different ways. When you're doing Poxwalkers, now this is covered in dust. If you've got a lot of Poxwalkers to do, then you can, of course, paint them properly with real, proper grown-up paints. But if you want a quick way to do Poxwalkers, that is all contrast paints. Ignore the trousers, didn't come out very well. This was when they first launched the contrast paints. I literally got, I think, some Gulliman Flesh and some of the green one and some of the pinky purple one, and I just slapped it on and mixed them while they were all still wet, and just wet blended it all. That literally took me about a minute. So it's not, I could sit there and paint it properly if I wanted to, but I've got about 120 Poxwalkers I'm going to have to paint at some point, and I can't sit there and do a full-on even tabletop paint job on all of them because I'll be there forever. But if you painted them, one thing I did with fleshy bits, let me see if I can find it. Hang on. That is your friend for fleshy tentacly bits, and for if you've got like a gaping wound, say a sore or a pustule or a cut or a big gaping wound, and you want to suggest it's sore. For tentacles, you can paint them any particular fleshy colour you want, or pinks or purples, but give it a coat of the Caribou Crimson. It just gives it that kind of fleshy look. You can also use, I was going to say Bloodletter, but it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, Caribou Crimson, over like at the pinky fleshy tones, like the Kislev Flesh or something like that, or the Canadian Cadian Flesh tone. It just makes it look like a tentacly thing. But if you've got like a gaping wound, put this around the edges of it. So if you've got like a, say you had a cut on the hand there, just put it around the edges of it and fade it. You'd get some water on your brush and just blend it away. It looks like kind of aggravated, irritated skin. And if you've got, say, a figure with, so let's say they've got skin, but there's a pipe or a tube or some kind of cyborgy bit going into the skin, like you get the ocular implants on the head. Again, use Caribou Crimson around that. It just gives a nice kind of irritated flesh look. One of the shades you might like for Death Guard and for Poxwalkery skin is a Athonian Camo shade. It's a real dirty, sickly green, and you can thin it with some medium if you want to kind of make it less potent, more transparent. But that's a nice sickly green colour, and it's like, oh, really nice for like just adding touches and shades. And if you can, try mixing shades, Agrax Earth shade, Athonian Camo shade. They're both kind of dirty browns and greens, which are perfect for things like Poxwalkers. Try putting little dots of it on the figure and then mixing them while they're still both wet. That way you get nice blends and shades. You can do that with contrast paints as well. That's what they're for. But yeah, those two shades will be your friend when you're doing Poxwalkers, Death Guard. Yes. I'm going to put those back. Just put those back over there. There we go. I reorganised my desk again yesterday, and I've got some more shelves. All my shades are easily accessible. Ruffle Canadian Fleshlight, says Siren. Oh yes. Blood for the Blood God, says Scaly Models. Yeah, you can also use Blood for the Blood God. If you've got Blood for the Blood God, you can use that very sparingly around things like wounds and even on tentacles to give that shiny, glossy, bloody look. If you use Blood for the Blood God and thin it down a little bit, just not with medium because that's matte, but just dilute it with a little bit of water and just apply it to tentacles and things. It can give it that kind of shiny, horrible, nasty, tentacly look. Of course, you have to make sure you do it after you've done the matte varnishes. Pitch, excuse me. Black Rifle is in, apparently, because somebody said hello to him. Where is he? There we are. Afternoon, folks, he says. Lee's in. Luke's in even. Why'd I call him Lee? Wow, hello. More water, hang on. There we go. Ray Aquilina is in. Big hugs to Ray Aquilina. So hello to Luke and Ray. I'm talking rubbish today. My words don't work. Mix Blood for the Blood God with Yoo-Hoo glue for dripping blood too, says Dad. Oh yeah. If you want like drips of things and like beads of like blood dripping out of fangs and stuff, yeah, Yoo-Hoo glue and Blood for the Blood God, or Yoo-Hoo glue with anything like Nurgle's Rot again. If you want like drippy, yeah, it's great. If you tease it out, you get like a stringy bit with a blob on the end. It's fantastic. Right, let's crack on. Where are we up to? Just tried to eat the feed, says Muse. I wouldn't do that. Zorg says, those nights in Hell's Reach get very lonesome. Yeah, about the Canadian fleshlight. Right, so I finished one dude. I built the sergeant, and I realised to my horror, after putting these little flippy flappy bits on the thrusters at the back, that's going to be a pain to put in the skirmish box, in the skirmish transport box. But never mind, we will survive. I shall put him over there. We've got our dude made. We've got to make 4 Reavers. Now I haven't decided yet, because Reavers have special masks. They have their own little, they've got like slim armour. They've got the slim Primaris armour, and I've not decided whether to use the heads that come with them or just give them my Space Wolves helmet, because Reavers do have their own sort of slim down helmets which look kind of cool, and I just putting the normal Space Wolves helmet on them will make them look a bit weird. But I think I'm going to have to give them the normal Space Wolves helmet, aren't I, to make them space. Right, so we've done the sergeant. This was quite I got quite confused by this, because this is all just one fit. I'm like, how many figures am I building? Oh, just one. It's all the option. So we need to do... I've got confused myself, actually. No, there we are. That's the sergeant. Yeah, this is all the sergeant. It's on the wrong page. Next, we've got to build some... In fact, that whole page is just for that one mini. Very confusing. They lay it out in a weird way sometimes. They really do. So we've got to make some Primaris Reavers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're going to build them individually now. It's not saying do this 5 times. So let's get this done. Let's get it done. I shall build the torso. I can do the torsos and things quickly, so we'll get... Oh, no, actually, no. We'll build them one by one. We'll build them one by one. Yoo-hoo glue, is that a real thing? Sounds like oi git face. Right, so we're in the middle of doing this one. So we've done him there. So we need to give him either a sword and a grapple gun, which sounds interesting, or I quite like the idea of a grappling gun. I'm quite sure what he's going to do with it, but I'm sure I could use. Thing is, though, if I use him in combat, he's got a grapple gun and a stabity, and that's it. He's no good at range, is he? Because he's not got his... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing the benefit of a grapple gun here. I think we'll just give him the weapons. So let me get my lenses on. Don't forget, of course, I've got the chat in front of me, but I'm wearing my lenses, so if you want to get my attention in chat, once I put these on, like now, that's all blurry, the chat there. So if you want to catch my attention in chat, please do. I've just got to make sure I turn my notifications off. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, the chat will just be a great big giant blur, so please remember to either do an at Model Making Guru in chat, so it pops my name in an orange box. I have a chance to see it. Or you can do your comments in all capitals, but it's not as good as doing at Model Making Guru, frankly, which is the most easiest way to quickly do it. Or you can, if you want to, do a super chat by touching the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the... Wow, that's really overexposed. Hang on, let me turn that light off. No, it's still overexposed. Oh, well, never mind. Yes, you can, if you do the little super chat button, the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window, it... puts your comment in a coloured box, animates a little thing up in the corner here, and also helps support this channel. There you go. It's another way to support the channel. Right, let's get this built. So we want to do him. Do we want to give him a gun or grapple hook? Or shall I have it? Oh, I know. Oh, I'm going to have him whipping his knife out. He's going to be getting his blade out, because that looks mint. That looks mint, that does. I like that. I like that one. We're going to have him. He's going to be getting his... Hello. That'll be Dad texting me a message of some sort. What notifications? Not your phone, surely. No, on my iPad. My phone's still working, as you've just found out. Right, so I want parts. Which parts do I... Oh, that's a different dude. That's not this dude. Oh, flange. Not this dude then. That's the next dude. Don't want to give him a grappling gun. Here we go. Here we go. Ah, brilliant, says Dad. Yes. I don't have an Alexa, just before you even think about it. I don't know whether to give him the grapple gun or not. I don't understand the new weapon callouts in the back of the instructions to know what the grapple gun does. Where is it? It's not even mentioned in the weapons, I don't think. It's not even mentioned. Maybe it's just purely a cosmetic thing to give him that. I don't know. I'm not sure. These guys are supposed to be stealthy, so they do tend to carry knives and pistols rather than any good big weapons. I think it's just a cosmetic choice, I think, to give them the grapple gun. In which case, I'm not going to give him the grapple gun. I'm going to give him an pistol because I want to do shooty. And I want him to look like he's doing shooty. Although he's going to look exactly like him if I do it. Here we go. Right. Si says you're... Yes, I'm sure I am. Thank you, Simon. I can't just ignore that, you know. I can also turn off the notifications on the phone. Don't want to give him the grapple... I don't know. There, it's there, you see. There's the grapple gun. And it's interesting. It's more interesting to paint. I have nothing to value to say, says Dan. Max says, I discovered there's a special review unit for Space Wolves called Hounds of Morkai, which specialise in dealing with psycho units. Yes. Hang on, I need to clear my throat. One sec. Sorry about that. Yes, I don't know if there's a set, you can actually buy a set of Hounds of Morkai separately. I don't think you can. I don't know if there's like an upgrade set for them or something. But I think these guys are just bog standard Reavers, I think. Grapple guns mean they can ignore certain terrain features. Go on, I'll give them the grapple gun then. Go on then. I'll go on then. If I must, I'll go on then. I don't know. I don't know. Right, we have a super chat. It's not popped up on screen yet, probably. Quanoman says, £5 super chat. Nothing, never mind. Definitely not trying to distract you for silly sod reasons. Dan, thank you very much for that little £5. Not little, you know, I mean, the £5 super chat. Not little at all. That's really, really helpful. Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. I'm sure there'll be an animation shortly. It doesn't make a noise. I had to turn the noise off. In fact, I can probably turn it back on again now because it's not freaked out for a while. I should probably turn it back on, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. Alert box. Do I really want to? No. I really want to try pressing buttons while I'm live on a live stream. But let's leave that for now. It used to make a noise, but it got stuck in a loop sometimes and would just be like doing alerts after alerts from like weeks before, and it got really annoying. So it's already shown, folks. Oh, thank you, Dad. The grapple gun is used in games, excuse me, for travelling up buildings or floors without penalty to your movement. Plus, you can still use those Reavers as Hounds of Morkai. Cool. Well, I'll probably paint them as Hounds of Morkai if I can find the specific markings that I'll need for them. They are, of course, going to get special helmets. I like it. All my men will have special helmets. It's the law. D20 I need, apparently. Roll a D20. Although in this case, D20 is arm. Hounds of... Yeah, because the Reavers are like... they're like close-quarter stealth infiltrator types. Not to be confused with actual infiltrators, of course. So there we go. Get those two bits. What else do we need from him? Not doing anything else with him just yet. So where's my knife? Do. If they are the Reavers from the Space Wolves Combat Patrol box, they are the Hounds of Morkai. Okay, that's cool then. This is the problem. It doesn't say on the box. Let's have a look. It just says Primaris Reavers. Doesn't actually say that on the box anywhere. It'd be helpful if they actually, told you that, wouldn't it? Yes, it doesn't say that anywhere. But I shall have to look up the relevant markings, see if they have any specific pauldron markings. I'm sure they do. I should really know more about Space Wolves, seeing as I'm, building Space Wolves. It would be a good idea. Then again, that will require planning, and that's something I'm allergic to. So it'd be nonsense to expect planning from me. Planning? With me, the third Earl of Wimborne, planning things with my reputation. Right, so we'll get that little nodule off there. Nodule. So anyway, I hope everyone is okay. How is everyone? I hope you're all doing good today and had a good weekend. I've got a really tickly nose today. Hang on. Oh, my right nostril is really tickly. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good weekend so far. Let me move this iPad back a bit. I'm having a lovely weekend myself. Been very, very busy. If you haven't noticed already, the second episode of the Fan Home Dodge Charger build went up this morning at about 9 o'clock. So go and watch. If you've not watched it already, go and watch that when you're finished here. Or well, maybe not right when you're finished, because it's Dad and Colin at 6 o'clock. That one there. There we go. But that's up for your delectation. So I'm up to date with that now. I've just got to wait for issues 3, 4, 5 and 6 to turn up. And then I can do those. Cleaning times. Cleaning times. I've got to learn to put things on my desk quietly and gently, because the microphone is on a boom arm, Cole. The microphone's on a boom arm that is actually attached to the bench because there's nowhere else for me to attach it. Every time I put something down heavily, it makes that big booming noise that you hear. I can't hear it, but you can hear it. And I must learn to not do that, because I've got nowhere else to attach the arm to, so I'd love to get the microphone up and away from it, but there's not much I can do at the moment about that. I will investigate, actually. But yes, a bit of a pain. But I hope you're all well. Bench and belly for me is, of course, bench. You can see here these dudes. I'll probably get these finished after we finish. Belly for me tonight is chicken paprika sausages, 12 of, between me and Mama Fox. And either, don't know yet, either Fox's mess or chips, but we're not decided yet. I'm leaving it to Mama Fox to decide. Is that a mark or is that actual lump? Is that supposed to be on there? Like a, I can't see if it's a, actually a little imperfection in the arm there that I can't tell if it's actually raised detail or just like a slight discoloration. I think it's just a discoloration. It's already shown Fox. Oh, we've done that one. Just don't roll in that one while you're clipping out the arm. Those Reavers are also good for Terror Troopers because they can give a -1 leadership to enemies in combat. Lol, good against low leadership. Yeah, because they're like shock troops, aren't they? Like you drop them into the behind the front lines and stuff, and they're like sneaky Khajiit boys that go in and do the stabbing and the shooting with the pistols rather than all guns blazing. They're like the 101st kind of thing. I need a smaller sandy stick. Hang on. Let me find the smaller stick. There. That would be fine. Right, well, I was doing this one, wasn't I? Yeah, so I probably should actually at some point read up on Space Wolves. I'm just building Space Wolves because I thought Space Wolves are cool. I like wolves. I like space. I'll have some Space Wolves. And I probably should get the codex at some point and read up more than a couple of pages from an old codex I found, 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm like, let's build them first, because I know, in reality, I'll probably never get to play them. I probably will, but maybe some point. I'm one of that. I'd love to play a game, but I'll probably never get round to it. I'm happy just to build. If I do get round to it, then I'll get myself a codex and do some learnings. But I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realistic optimist. I'm optimistic that it will be great fun to play a game. Meet up with Adam and go to Goblin Gaming and have a bit of a game. I'm also a realist in that it's probably never going to happen. I'll probably never do it. That's fine. But I started Warhammer for the models, for the buildy and the painty, and that's the fun bit for me. I've never played a game. I will do maybe one day. But I have a debt of gratitude to Warhammer stuff because it's building and painting Warhammer things and watching our Lord and Saviour Duncan doing his Warhammer TV tutorials that actually taught me how to brush paint after so many years. for anyone who's not heard the story before, I know most of you have, for many, many years, I didn't think I could brush paint at all, and I didn't bother trying to. For a good, for 25 years, I was like, I can't brush paint. I've not got those skills. And I didn't bother. But then I saw a few Warhammer TV videos with Duncan back in the day, and started having thoughts about it, and thought, you know what? I had a thought, and and got some Citadel paints and some brushes and stuff, and a miniature, and I was like, my eyes, the scales fell from my eyes, because what had been happening was I'd spent 25 years just using Tamiya paints, because when I grew up, the only paints you could get were Humbrol or Tamiya from my local model shop. So those are the only two paints I knew, Humbrol and Tamiya. And Tamiya paints are absolute arse for painting, brush painting with. They're not designed for brush painting at all. they're alcohol-based lacquers. They don't work for brush painting without a lot of fettling and fiddling. So it's not worth it. So for the longest time, I thought I couldn't brush paint, because every time I tried to brush paint, it came out crap. And of course, the difficulty with Tamiya paints is you can't do a lot of the things that acrylics allow you to do, like blending and wet blending and glazing. You just can't do it. So for the longest time, I thought I couldn't brush paint, and I decided not to bother. And when I had to, I hated it. But suddenly, getting myself decent acrylic paints, following the guides I found and the tutorials, I was like, wait, I can brush paint. I just had crap paint. I had the wrong paint for the job. It was like trying to hammer a nail in with a piece of string and a lettuce leaf, and thinking you couldn't hammer nails in because you're trying to use a piece of string and lettuce leaf. It was amazing. It was like, wow, hang on, I can do this. And then I'll always have a bit of gratitude to these models and this franchise, because it opened my eyes to the possibilities. Open your mind to the possibilities. Oh, ping. So that was why when Colin and I were talking, and Colin and I and Dad were talking on Friday, during and after the Friday evening show, and Colin's got his Bane-Blade that he wants to paint up, and he wants to do a good job of it, and he wants to learn how to do it, and how to brush paint it, because it's not something he's done a lot of, and it's not something he feels that he's got enough experience in, and he wants to do a good job and do it proud, which he should, because it's an epic piece of building. And I said to him, just go and watch. Here's a list of the Duncan's best tutorials on Warhammer TV. Go and watch those, and they'll be a perfect foundation for you starting the journey of learning how to do brush painting. My thinking being, of course, that on the Warhammer TV videos, Duncan teaches a very specific style. It's a very sort of tabletop Games Workshop style, and I'm not saying to learn that style and paint that style. It's a very limited style, but it's a perfect foundation to start from for someone who's got no experience doing brush painting. You can't just pick up paints and brushes and start painting and know what to do. Nor can you pick up some brushes that instantly be able to do glazing and wet blending and everything else. They're advanced techniques. So the way I see it, and I've recommended this to other people, the way I see it is, go and watch. Start simple. There's lots of tutorials out there, but just to get the basic foundation, those are very simple, very straightforward videos, and I just think they're the best ones because they're so straightforward and easy to understand. I just said, go and watch a few of those. Do yourself a test pig. Do I need to drill a hole in that? No. Get yourself a test pig model. Go and watch those. Copy that style as best you can for one of them, for your test pig. But then absorb all that information that you've learned by copying that style on your test pig. And then grow from that. If you want to learn all the advanced techniques, your wet blendings, your gradations, your all that kind of stuff, you can't just learn that straight away. Oops. You know, if you want to race Formula One, you kind of have to learn how to drive first. And those videos, while it's not the most advanced technique in the world, and it's a kind of tabletop plus kind of level of skill, it is perfect for the absolute beginner, because it just gets you doing some basic stuff, some basic techniques to get you getting the confidence with the brush and to understand the way to use colours and things like that, and some real simple techniques. It's a foundation after which you can then go off and learn. Now you've got your confidence, now you can go off and learn all the more advanced things. That arm isn't really in a good position. Let's have it more like... It's kind of a real dull pose. He's like, strike a nice pose. There you go. So yeah, so I sent Colin off to watch a few of those, and bless him, he has been, with the hope that he'll watch them and pick up some pointers and then find his own way from there. Because, you know, he'll sort something out. He'll have a good time with it. He'll figure out his business. And I think he'll do really well. But they are, you know, they are a brilliant sort of a way for someone to dip their toes into it. They are a brilliant sort of introductory, build a foundation on which to work sort of style, which I think is brilliant. Plus it's Duncan, and you can't help but just love Duncan to bits because he's awesome. Right, so next we have this guy, so we need some more bits. Got the sniffles, as you can tell, because the lights are on. Of course I have the sniffles. I want D25 and 26. 25 und also 26, ja, das ist richtig. 25 and 28, no. 25 and 25, and that is there. There it is, right above it. I was looking at the wrong number. Sorry, wrong number. Because, you know, Si's been helping him out as well. And he'll be, you know what Colin's like. He'll be asking lots of advice from Si Reynolds, who's won a couple of Golden Demons. And that's a brilliant way to go, because Si knows his beans. But it does make things easier if you know just a basic, just the real bare bones basic bits. And that's what Duncan's videos can show him. Because they're approachable, they're easy to copy. 27, 28. And it's something I've said, not just for, like, you know, painting models, and not just for Citadel paints and, you know, Warhammer and stuff. It's advice that I've given for people wanting to learn how to draw, because, you know, I did art for a long time, and I did music. People who ask me about, you know, learning to draw or write music and stuff, and it's like, the best thing you can do to sort of kickstart your learning experience is just to study stuff that exists and copy it. Just learn to copy something first. As long as you can find out how it's done. Copy something first, and when you're able to copy it, that you've learned those skills, then put those skills to good use, and use those skills to try and find other ways of doing things. You know? I'd never say, copy this other artist and then that's all you need to do. Because it's like, no, you need to find your own way in this world. So, but the good way to just get your bearings is to just copy a style that you like and admire. Because once you've got that and you can do that, that's muscle memory gained then. You know, once you've figured out how to use a brush, then you can start to figure out, well, now I know how to use this brush. Let's have some fun with it and try other things that I've never seen anyone else do. Let's try breaking it and doing the wrong things and see what the results are. You'd be surprised how many cool things have come out of just doing something wrong. Happy little accidents. You know, the first person that realised you could dip a canopy in Future or Clear or Pledge, whatever you want to call it, that was probably born of necessity because they could have anything else available, and maybe they spilled some on it, I don't know, but it's probably one of those kind of scenarios. All the techniques we take for granted, you know, shading, blending, and washes and filters and all these kind of things, somebody had to just figure them out at some point. They had to sit there and think, I wonder if I can use this to get that effect. I wonder what would happen if I put this paint on that material. I wonder what would happen if I mixed this powder with this other liquid, and then, you know, I wonder what would happen if I mixed plaster in with my pigments and a bit of, you know, white glue. Somebody'd have to try this the first time. But to get to the point of doing that, they had to know the basics of what they were doing. So it's always important to learn the structure, the foundation. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to know the basics. So hopefully Colin's going to spend some time watching all those. There are lots of other artists out there that do lots of good teachings, but I just wanted to keep it simple for Colin, just because he's learning for the first time. I don't want to send him off saying go and watch a load of Darren Latham's videos and copy that, because, yeah, no, you need years of experience to get to that point. I wanted to say, here's some videos of a guy who's really easy to watch. He's fun to watch. This is the weird thing. Like, I still watch those old Warhammer TV videos from time to time. If I just want to chill out and watch something interesting and amusing, because they're fun to watch. They're just relaxing. I must have watched the Archaeon one God knows how many times, and Mortarion. Wow. Not because I need to learn anything, but just because I find them fun to watch. So, yeah, he'll enjoy watching them, and he'll pick up the basics, and that's all he needs. Because the rest of it is then finding. And I says to him, you know, watch those, learn the basics, do your test pig. I think he's got a booster blaster he's going to do as a test pig. Do your test pig, get the muscle memory, and then, when it comes to the Bane Blade, you can use those techniques, plus all your other techniques that you know anyway, and you can start thinking of your own ways of doing things. Because you know what Cole's like. It's perfect for him, because, you know, Cole's the kind of person that'd be like, well, you're supposed to do this by doing this, this, and this. But I haven't got any of that to do that. So what if I mix that with that and then I put that on there? I wonder if that would work. Well, the best things are found out. Good luck, Cole. Have fun with it. Have fun with it, my friend. I'm sure I've probably missed a load of stuff in chat now. But I know a lot of people mock the old Warhammer TV stuff, and it's like, don't mock it. It's a perfect foundation. If you know what you're doing with paints and brushes, then there's nothing for you there. There's nothing you're going to learn. Apart from perhaps, you know, how to use citadel paints, perhaps, but they're just acrylic paints. But if you know what you're doing, then it's just entertainment. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you're absolutely a beginner, great foundation. And the thing you have to remember, and it's something that many of us often forget without meaning to, the thing you have to remember is that, you know, you sit there and you might take for granted that you know how to do something. So you might look at a model that's been painted and say, oh, I know how he's done that. He's done this, and he's put that wash on there, and he's done dot filter, and that's how he's done it. Because you've done it before, and you know what you're doing. You're used to it. But you have to remember, and this applies to anything, be it music, drawing, art, anything creative like that, that for all the people that sit there and look at something and say, I know how he's done that, there are millions more who have got no idea and know nothing at all. There are people who can look at, I could paint this leg in lead belcher, I could rattle can it in lead belcher and then give it a black wash of Nuln Oil. And you would look at that and you go, it's lead belcher with Nuln Oil on it. It takes 2 minutes. But then the next person along might look at it and not know how you've done it and think it's taken you hours to paint all these different shades. How did you sit there and blend all the highlights and the lowlights? How did you get all the different sort of shades of black and grey and silver? They don't know it was a spray can and a wash. So you have to remember that for everything that you take for granted, there's somebody else who considers it a miracle because they've got no idea. They've never learned. They don't know how things are done. So you should never criticize teaching when it's done to the person who knows nothing. Somebody put a comment on one of the videos the other day saying, yeah, your video's quite good, but maybe you shouldn't talk to your audience like it's a 5-year-old. And I thought to myself, well, first of all, I don't treat everyone like a 5-year-old, trust me. But I thought to myself, I've not responded to it, but it was like, you have to understand, when I'm doing a video of how to do something, I'm aiming it at someone who doesn't even know which end of a brush to use or how to use a knife. like, you know, or what one of these is, or what one of that is, or what the, you know, I always aim it at the person who doesn't know anything, because I'm teaching entry-level skills. I'm not teaching how to be an amazing genius artist. I'm never going to win a golden demon, or even 2 golden demons, let's say, like somebody might have done. But, you know, I'm never going to do that. I'm not that level of painter, and I never will be. I have no interest in being that level of painter. But I'm thinking, if you sit there thinking the way I'm teaching people is patronising, you're missing the fact that I'm actually aiming at the people who don't know which end of a brush to use. You know, because not because they're stupid, but because they don't know. You're not born with the knowledge of how to paint or how to build or how to use a scribing tool. And that arrogance kind of annoyed me a little bit. But then again, you have to take into account it's a comment on the internet, and, you know, you can often misconstrue the meaning behind it. I'm sure he didn't mean to sound like that. But it was like, yeah. I must reply to that, actually. But yeah, that's the point. You should never be critical of something that aims its learnings at the people that don't know anything, because everything that you take for granted as, well, that's obvious. It's not obvious. It's not to somebody. They'll have no idea. They won't know what they're looking at, how to do it. I did a piece of music once that had an arpeggio in it all the way through, very jar style. And somebody says to me, "Did you have to play like? How did you get all the notes on time?" He's like, "Den den den den." How did you have to like do lots of takes because you kept missing the notes? I'm like, no, I pressed go on the arpeggiator. Go. Yeah. To them, it's like, did I have to press like that key hundreds and hundreds of times and make sure it was in time? And no, I just turned the arpeggiator on, and there you go, done. There's always somebody that looks at what you take for granted with wide eyes. So, you know, while you and I might get no new learnings from, say, the Duncan's All videos, they're still fun to watch. But there are plenty of people who will. And, you know, lest we need a reminder of this kind of thing, look at the tank I'm doing for the tabletop trauma center. Look at the Lehman Russ I'm doing, and look at the before photographs when I bought it. You know, if everybody had this innate knowledge of how to paint stuff, you wouldn't have eBay rescues, because there wouldn't be horribly painted minis. But it's very easy to consider something obvious when you've spent years studying it and learning it. Not so easy when you've never even considered how to do it. It's like, you know, you have to imagine somebody walking into a model shop or a hobby shop, or, you know, the local Warhammer store with no knowledge. And they'd have no idea where to even begin as to what they would need. And that's why you get people who sometimes ask the question, what do I need to make a model? You sometimes get that asked in like comments and things. Hi, I want to make models. What do I need? Well, you'd need about a month for me to write the reply for a start. Yeah, it's not a question you can answer. It'd be no different to me walking into like a car tuning shop and wanting to tune my car up. I don't know anything about cars. I walk in and be like, right, how do I tune my car? And the guy behind the counter would be like, oh, you're one of those. Yeah. So, don't take for granted, or don't assume that everybody takes the same things for granted. So anyway, yeah, so Colin's been watching Duncan, and I'm really proud. Really quite sweet. Let's have a quick look at chat, because I'm sure it's been all talking about stuff. When the world stops burning, you'd be more than welcome to come here and play. 6x4 foot gaming table is complete, says Luke. Ooh, play those. You'd kick my ass, I'm sure you would. Hang on, I'm just shifting my chair around. Oh, there we go. Muse says, geez, don't know why. Nice, I've got a gaming table in my gaming shed, 6x4 foot, waiting for the writeups burning. I haven't got space for a gaming table, sadly. The problem is I don't know anybody in real life, actually, not like none of my friends, I mean, who actually plays or would ever play or makes models. So it's not like I can just hang out with my mates and play. The nearest person I know is Adam, because he's fairly local to Goblin Gaming, as am I. So that's about the best of it. Graham McRobertson, welcome, Graham. Or is it Panzer that's in? I'm not sure. One of them came in and they're all saying hello to everybody. William mentioned, I've returned broccoli and cheese omelette. Ooh. Look. Johnny's back. Welcome, Johnny. Hugs are always good, says Muse. Fox, it's like starting to walk. You wobble, then you can walk after a few attempts, says Graham. Absolutely. Boom, says Muse. Dana Howell has a great basics in painting series too. Yeah, I've watched a few of her videos. I keep meaning to watch some more. I must subscribe to her channel, actually. Keep it simple for Colin. I have a degree, I'm not thick, says Colin. You know what I mean. That's like I said, I wouldn't sit there and say, right, go and watch this tutorial how to do blending, wet blending, glazing and filters. Because you need to know the basics. You need the foundation to then learn the complicated. Not because anyone's stupid, but because I couldn't go and do heart surgery without doing 9 years of medical school first to learn about doing heart surgery. So that's the idea. Not to keep things simple for you because you're an idiot. Because I mean we're all idiots, but you know what I mean. I wanted to get the foundation because I don't want. The way I see it, and this is the way I do what I do, is I want people to have their own way of doing things. I want people to put their expression into their painting. So I'm one of the reasons I'm reluctant to, I paint tabletop plus level at the best, maybe tabletop standard, and I teach basic procedures. I don't teach complicated things, and the reason is I don't want to teach people the complex stuff, because if I teach someone how to do, on the assumption that I could do award-winning painting, if I taught someone to do award-winning painting, then where's their personality in that? I've taught them how to do it, and they're just doing that. There's no character, there's no personality. I rather would teach that somebody learns the basic foundations, but then finds out the complicated stuff themselves, because that way they can find new ways of doing things. Like I said before about, there was always the first person that ever did pigments and the first person that ever did a dot filter. They just found out by farting about, and that's the thing. And you like a good fart about. I know what you like. So I would never really want to teach someone or show someone where they can learn how to do that. It's more important to me that they find out it themselves. But not that you're stupid, not that you're thick, but I've no interest in you learning the complicated stuff straight off, because then there's no personality to inject into that. We all started somewhere. We have to remember that learning the basic skills is the foundation for everything that follows, says Luke. Yep. I'm stupid. I just gave a thumbs up. Flipping heck, this day gets worse, says Sarah Jane. Welcome, Sarah Jane. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Big fat hugs for the thumbs up. You're absolutely mistake. She also says, I'm here, Fox. Wahahaha. Yes, accidentally gave me a thumb. I think she secretly likes me, really. I think she likes to give me thumbs up. She just likes to pretend she doesn't like me. Where are we? I keep rewatching things. It's like Pocket Aid Memoir, says Panzer. Absolutely. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you now. I rewatch things sometimes, and I'm a terrible for this. I'll do a video and I'll be like, here's how I'm going to paint this, and here's how I'm going to paint that. 3 months later, I'll think, right, I'm going to paint this thing again, and I've forgotten what technique I used the last time, and I'll be like, crap, how did I do that? Like if I stood with someone now and said, and we looked at one of my old bills, how did you paint that? I can't remember. I forget techniques all the time. I'm terrible. Like, I can remember like how to do a dot filter, but like when I want to do like complicated stuff, I'm like, crap, how did I do that? And I've had to rewatch my old stuff sometimes to remind myself how I did something to do it again. It's terrible. Right, I need to clear my nose. 1 sec. Sorry about that. I've got all kinds of snuffles going on today. La, 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 la. Johnny says, hello, Sarah, again. And Sarah Jane says, hi, Johnny, it's close. It's Sarah Jane, not Sarah again. I like that. Luke's gaming table converts to a couch. One of mine says, I'm not old, it's not my birthday till tomorrow, and it's totally my first one, probably. I'm going to turn my brightness up because I can't quite see. There we go. If Colin says, I'm just that poor, uneducated Cockney Mary Poppins. You know what I mean. Learning, things like artistic talent. See, things like any kind of art. Art doesn't require intelligence. Art requires just like, I don't know, an artistic twinge to your brain. It doesn't require, you don't have to be smart to do art. It can enhance your art. You don't have to be smart to do art. You just have to have the little artistic vibe and a creativity and imagination. Imagination is a billion times more important than smarts when it comes to arts. Don't need the smarts for arts. But yes, I'm not saying you're stupid, Cole. I'm saying that if you don't know how to do the brush painting, then learning the foundation is the first step. And after that, find your own way. That's the best way. That's how you get your particular look on things. That's how you get your style. That's why I don't really try to stick to one or specific technique or anything else. I'll often copy techniques that I've found that are new to me. But after a while, I'll adapt it. I'll change it, I'll wriggle it around and see if I can put my own stamp on it. I learned gunk washing from Adam Savage, but I tried it with enamels after a while and found it was just as good, a bit more controllable, and a lot faster. So now I very rarely do a gunk wash with oil paints anymore. I do it with enamels. But that's just me finding my own way. That's me learning something and then finding my own way. I remember that some masters in Japan will actually retake their classes just to relearn things. I learned this when I took a seminar on Japanese floral arrangement, says Nim. Yeah. You're always learning. I would never even begin to think that I know half the stuff that I knew 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I think you can only really know a certain number of techniques in one go, and I forget things all the time. Because I don't plan, I tend to do things on spec and on a whim. I tend to think, right, I need to paint this bit. How am I going to do that? Okay, I could try this technique. I'll have a quick look at this video. There we go, that's how you do it. Brilliant. So I'll do it, and then I'll forget. So, yeah, I'm rubbish like that. I've just got a terrible memory anyway. Dad's other nickname is Speed Bump, especially after Colin threw him under the bus. It's good to watch things again. There is always something new you notice, says Muse. Absolutely. Well, going back to, the Warhammer TV stuff, I just like to watch the Duncan stuff because it's kind of relaxing to watch, if for no other reason, because Duncan's a good presenter. Not so much in his early days when he was terrified and nervous. You can see it on him. He hadn't quite figured out his style at that point. And sometimes it's just fun to watch someone who has an enthusiasm for what they're doing, because sometimes it just gets your mojo back in play because you see someone else being so enthused about something. It's hard not to then feel it yourself, isn't it? So it can be good to watch that kind of stuff just to get your juices flowing again. Ooh, a matron. I said juices. He deserved it, says Colin. Watch him squirm tonight. Yes, there may have been a little bit of accusations of cheatery between Colin and Dad. A little bit of handbags at dawn going on about this motorbike they're building. You see how I'm skirting the issue there? I'm not stating that any. I'm being neutral. I'm saying there were only accusations of this, that, and the other. Because you know what? I'm Switzerland. That's my standard response. If there's two people having a debate about something, and I'm like, if I get involved in this, I'm going to have a nightmare hellscape time. And they'll be like, Fox, what do you think? And I'll just be like, hold up my hand, Switzerland. What? Switzerland. No. Which means I'm not getting involved in your chaos. Thank you very much. Don't drag me into this. But I have to say, Colin and Dad, throwing people under a bus is their pastime. They currently own, Colin and Dad collectively currently own the world's tallest bus. Because there's so many people underneath it, it's like, it's in the clouds. Even I'm under there. I seem to have a thorough working knowledge of the underside of buses at the moment for some reason. I don't know why. I don't do anything. I like Duncan too, says Muse. I have front row middle of the stage tickets for that show, says Panzer Koenig. I don't know what we're talking about. I like Vince Venturella videos. His way of teaching sinks in well for me, says Phil East. I've not seen his stuff. I think we're talking about Dan being in trouble. Our bus has legs like the AT-AT, says Colin. Yeah, but even they don't reach the floor anymore. It's like one day, Cole, you're going to run out of people to throw under that bus, and you're going to have to really reconsider your options. Like, I don't know, get a lower vehicle. There we are. He's got a bit of a lean on him, that one, hasn't he? A bit of a lean. I lean. He leans, he does lean, yes. Cujo Painting says hello. Welcome, Cujo Painting. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're having a good weekend this weekend. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Any updates from me? Let's have a think. As you know, the first two parts of the Dodge Charger build are up. They're up on the channel now. You can watch them later on. I'll get the next 4 issues in the next few weeks. I have 10 issues of the X-Wing to do, because that's piled up again. But I'm probably more likely going to just live stream them, because I can't do another. It takes quite a while to film the part work stuff, so I can't face do another 10 in one go. That'll be like another 2 weeks work. So I might just do a live stream to power through those. I'm still not 100% on what the next. I'm in the middle of editing the Tabletop Trauma Center Lehman Russ episode. Let me just get the arms for this guy. So I'm in the middle of editing that right now. So that should hopefully be up Monday, Tuesday. In early access for a week and then open to everybody else. Oh yes, I get to do the pulling his knife out job. I want D31 or B2. Okay, and D29. So that will be going up probably Monday, Tuesday, maybe as late as Wednesday into early access. But then obviously I'm going to start the new thing, and I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure what it's going to be. I've got to kind of decide because I'm going to start filming it this week. It might be the Macarius Vanquisher, my Deathcore tank, forgeable tank. It might be. I don't know. Thinking it might be a slim possibility I might do my Kshatriya, but again, I don't know. It's more a question of where the hell I'm going to put it when I've done it. What do I want? 29, 31. Oh, okay. That's all the arms I want for a start. There's no arms on the torso chest. A Sprue Fox. That was your first clue, idiot. Wait, I didn't realise you could have the. Oh. Oh no, that's somebody else. Okay, I'll ignore me. What numbers do I? I've forgotten the numbers again. God damn it. 29 and right, okay. It's the one with the stabity knife. 29 we want first of all. 29 is where? 40, 31, 49, 36. How hard can it be to find where the hand is pulling a sword out? Okay, maybe it's one of the other ones. Hang on. Maybe it's one from the other set. B. Maybe I've used that one and it's B2 I want. B2. B2, 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 B, B2. Got to find that now. B2. I remember there being two dudes pulling a knife out. I'll be kajiggered if I can find them. B2. Nope. Yes, it's that time of the stream again where I sit looking through a sprue for 20 minutes. B2, 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 B2. Nope. I've done one guy whipping his knife out, but I knew there was another one. I thought there was another one. Huh, okay. Not that one. I really wish they put these in order. Be quite frustrating. Right, there's 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 5. So 2 would have been on this sprue. And it would have been somewhere 9, 16, 23, 19. Look at that. 1. Oh, let's see, you idiot. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh, god damn it, Fox. These them sprues, you stongleberry. I'm going home now. Going home. Frankie Ghost Hobby Wood is in. Welcome, Frankie, my friend. How you doing? Big Frankie hugs. Lol, Sarah, about Fox. What have I done now? God damn it. Colin does all the work. That's why I pick on Fox. Lazy. Yes, thank you very much. I do all the work. I just do it slower than everybody else. Have you done any of the Dodge Charger, mate? You haven't mentioned it yet. No, I was going to wait till Dad talked about like Dad talked about getting him on a fox hug, and then I might talk about it. But I know Dad doesn't often talk about that, so I'm not really going to talk about it. Reconsider your options or get a coach to replace the bus. That'll learn him. Why are these Gretchens so small? So scale model Muse, because that's what they are. Sam Morrell says everyone should go and watch Cujo painting. He's incredibly talented and rather amusing at the same time. Oh, that Cujo. Oh, hello, Cujo painting. That Cujo. I thought I recognised the name. Yes, go and watch Cujo's stuff. It's awesome. Cake where? Give me cake now, says Sarah Jane. I assume that's a link to Cujo's channel for scaling models and Kevin Reynolds. I finished today's work, having a coffee and a chocolate now, says Frankie. Good girl. Is Dad under the bus again, says Colin. I don't know, he's always under the bus, isn't he? Isn't that the normal for Dad? Isn't that why it's called the Dad bus? I think, should we just, if it's an old bus, should we just give Dad a new nickname? Should we just call him Leaf Sprung? If he was a fireman, he'd just be called Leaf Sprung, I think. So we've got D29 is the one we want. That's the Stabity blade arm, which goes there, you see. Like he's whipping it out. He's whipping it out. He's revealing, he's unsheathing his manly weapon. Yeah, we'll just move on. I'm here to repair your washing machine. Let me unsheath my enormous weapon. Tool. Joke died. 29. I just happened to have found 29 by instantly just having my thumb on it. D29. Okay, so we actually get to drill a barrel this time. Drill out the barrel. Yes, I do lots of work. I work very hard. I just work very slowly. That's my thing. Slow and steady wins the race. The blue car and the red car had a race. All Red wants to do. Stuff his face. He eats everything he sees. From trucks to prickly trees. But good old Blue took the Milky Way. Other chocolate snacks are available. How many of you got that tune in your head now? Oh no, the bridge is out. Good old Blue, he took the Milky Way. Can you imagine, like, obviously a lot of you won't know what that advert was, but for those of you who do, try and imagine how much work went into that little advert. The animation on it. I mean, It's hand-drawn animation of like two cartoon vintage 1940s muscle cars having a race. And if I said to you, just draw a cartoon vintage muscle car, like an 88, it would take you, even if you're a good artist, it would still take you a good hour, couple of hours maybe. And this was hand-drawn. This is in the 1980s. These were hand-drawn. No CGI in them days. You weren't building a 3D model of the car and then animating it. None of that nonsense. It was literally, if you need 1,000 frames of this car idling and moving, you've got to draw 1,000 frames of it. So, from an artistic point of view and a work point of view, the amount of work that went into that advert is incredible. You can't do adverts like that anymore now, though. Claims they made. Like, you know, Milky, but what was it? Milky Way, the snack that won't ruin your appetite. You can eat it between meals, it won't ruin your appetite. You're not allowed to say that anymore. That's why they don't. Looks like it, Cole. Must be. It's under the bus. Surely Dad's pitched a tent under there now. Steady now. That's personal, that is. Mayhem is arrived. Welcome. Just as I'm messing with my Elegoo, Fox starts making jokes about his weapon. Completely corpsed. Oh no, the bridge is gone. Old Red can't go on, says Mayhem Model Works. If you don't know what the advert is, if you're either too young or you're not British, when you get a minute, just go and look up on YouTube Milky Way red car versus blue car. You'll see what we mean. Then you'll have the tune stuck in your head. ECA's in. EC Idaho. Welcome, welcome. Like those cars with the headlights in the windscreens, Fox. Don't even start me on that. Oh, flipping. Oh, Pixar, you just. No. Oh, makes me angry. Perfectly good headlights on the front of a car. Why would you put the eyes in the windscreen, you monsters? God damn it. Don't even get me. And we're saying hi to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I will admit, I've got a little bit of splash damage of my own earworm there. I've got the kind of red car, blue car tune in my head a little bit. There's a little bit of backdraft and splash damage on that earworm bomb I just dropped. Sorry. It happens from time to time. I may just have to break glass to emergency deploy some Spanish flea or something. But yeah, it does amaze me sometimes. Could feel like a 30-second advert. All the work that went into that. I know it would be like a team of artists and stuff. It wouldn't be one guy drawing every single frame, but I mean, I look at all the work I put in to do, all the work I did. You know, like I have my little animated Fox character in some of my videos, like in the Tabletop Trauma Centre ones. And that was like an entire day. I mean, it was about a day and a half, actually. An entire day and a half drawing all the individual bits of artwork to do those animation frames. And that is super simple, basic animation. There's like 3 or 4 different torsos, 3 or 4 different sets of arms, and probably about 10 or 11 different heads, which are all just like mouth swaps. It's like you draw the head, and then there's the bit that you have an overlay of the different shaped mouths, and you just swap them out. But just drawing all those for such a simple animation technique that I use is a good couple of days' work. And that's something I'm used to drawing on a regular basis. It's a character I know, and it's something I can draw without thinking about it. So, yeah, them drawing those cars. I kind of watched it the other day, and I'm like, I've never really thought about how well these are drawn, how much work went into that. Weird. And yet, it's just an advert that after a year of being on the telly, it went away. You know, it was never seen again until the internet came out. Such is the lot of the animator who works in the advertising. Because in Pixar land, head lamps are actually nipples, says Mayhem. Yeah. I'll never forgive Pixar for that. There's a hilarious article on Jalopnik about the whole headlights and windscreen eye issue. It's actually quite funny to read. Oh, there goes the L. It's actually quite funny to read. They get even more angry about it than I do. Yeah. And they show some like mock-ups of what the cars would look like if they had eyes where the headlights are. Because you look at a car, what's the face on a car? The grille is the mouth, the headlights are the eyes. I mean, come on, it's not rocket science, is it? Not even rocket surgery. It's just, yeah. You ask any child before those films came out to draw a face on a car, they'd put the eyes in the headlights. I don't know. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Oops. Clean up this little mould linings. Have a little barrel to drill out here. No, the only downside with these Reavers is it's all bolt pistols and they have tiny barrels and they're more prone to messing up the drilling than any other kind of weapon barrel. Is the friendliness of Fox's fire ring about? I don't want to know about that. I'm going to avoid that conversation. Don't quite know what that's about. Mayhem's giving Festa hugs to Festa, which is probably best because that's what Festa hugs are for. Did you give Dad hugs? Or did you just give Colin Festa hugs? Because that's not very balanced. And did you give Cy Reynolds some Cy Reynolds hugs? Because he's won 2 Golden Demons, you know. Did I say that out loud? Sorry, Simon. I don't know why you're embarrassed when we say that. You should be proud of it. Yeah, like if I'd won 2 Golden Demons, I'd be like, welcome to modelmakingguru.com//2 Golden Demons. I'd be pimping the living crap out of it. Right, let's... I'll be brave and going with the full-size drill bit just to, risk it for a biscuit. I see your Pixar and raise you Tex Avery. He made his cars with windshield as their eyes. Still wrong. Doesn't make it any less wrong. Tex Avery, not a good artist. Never liked their animations. I don't rate Tex Avery as a resource on this matter. I don't know. I never liked the Tex Avery stuff. I found it horrible. I don't know why. It's the same way with, I don't know, there's a certain aesthetic that I need from my cartoons. It's the same reason I never liked Crick Falusi stuff? The guy that did all the Ren and Stimpy and stuff. I never liked his artwork style either. It was too, I don't know, there was something about it that just made me angry. I didn't like it. It was too much, too overkill, too exaggerated. Although didn't he go down in a flaming ball of lots of bad things he did in the past and said, and suddenly nobody liked him anymore? I can't remember now. Yeah, and I didn't like his style, Rick Falusi's style. I thought it was too. I can't really I can't put it into words, but I didn't like it. It annoyed me. It was too much. And it kind of became quite prevalent in the 90s as well, that kind of OTT style. There were some situations where it was kind of pleasing, like, Cow and Chicken was quite good. I don't know if that was him though. It was a very similar style. But yeah, I like Cow and Chicken, but yeah, Crick Falusi stuff like Ren and Stimpy, no, couldn't stand it. Purely because of the art. Mayhemic hugs. What is a mayhemic hug though? Does it involve an awkward moment of arm flailing? I think all times of arm flailing. I've counted it's 11 times today alone. Counted what? Do I want to know? He's not embarrassed about winning 2 Golden Demons. He's just embarrassed by you pimping his demons. I will pimp his demons regularly. It gives me great pleasure to pimp his... I'll move on from that one. I suppose it's a bit like, you know, the grandma who always says, you know, oh yes, this is my grandson, the one who got the job in the office, and nuggles on the cheek and stuff. And it's like, shut up, grandma. Stop it. Maybe it's that. Mom. Like the old BT ads. Yeah, this is my son's very clever. He's got an ology. Mom, shut up. Where's me? There it is. Go. What gets me is, of all the people in the world who would understand why I'm so slow with the building side of the process, you'd think Cy Reynolds, having, you know, 2 golden demons, would understand about going slowly and removing all the imperfections and mould lines. You'd think he'd understand. No, he just joins in like everybody else. I don't know. Mocking. Don't know. I forgot to do this bit before I put glue down there, didn't I? Yeah, never mind. Just carve it out a little bit so it's a little bit more uniform. It was a little tiny bit off to one side. I didn't do a bad job with it. But that's even better. Much better. However, it should be said that Cy Reynolds is now thinking about, is like working towards doing a YouTube, which I think is a brilliant idea. Because if there's one person we all know that has a shitload of stuff to teach all of us, it's Simon. And I would happily watch all of that. Quite happily. But yes, make it happen, number 1. I'm going to put them back in there because they're going to get lost if I don't. Chamchi Gimbapson, building is not your thing, is it? I know. Well, this is the thing, right? I enjoy building Warhammer stuff. I don't enjoy building like normal model kits, like tanks and planes and boats and things. I don't enjoy the build part. I love the paint part, but the build part bores me. But with Warhammers, I actually enjoy the build part. And if I was building a tank, like a trumpeter tank, I'd be like, do this, clean it, build it. I just build it fast because I'm bored and I don't like enjoy building it, and I just get that bit done as quickly as possible. When I'm doing Warhammers though, I actually enjoy the build part. So I take my time. I sit there and I'm lovingly removing mould lines and imperfections, and I'm filling little gaps. I'm drilling barrels out. For some reason, I just enjoy the build part in Games Workshop kits. So it's different. So I do take my time with them. Fox, Lord Kevin needs you to pimp his demons some more. There you go. Consider that demon pimping. Where are we up to? Plastic Monkey says, did you go under another name? And he says, yes, but I changed his name a few years ago. Yeah. Fox builds annually, i.e. one piece a year, says Sarah Jane. Yeah, but you know what? It's a damn good piece at the end of the year, though. That's the thing. You don't complain because your most favouriteest Scotch whisky has been like, in a barrel for 25 years. You don't say, I wish that was ready in a month. No, you enjoy the fact it's a 25-year vintage, you see. That's what it is. Slow and steady wins the race, like I said. There's many things that are better when you do them slowly. I'll just step away from that, what I've just said there, before it goes any further. When you say something and realise that, Colin's watching and Dad's watching, and yeah, you realise where a conversation can head. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because the plastic is so... I don't know, the plastic on Games Workshop kit is so just pleasing to scrape and clean up and carve. It's a forgiving, softish plastic. Whereas, most kits are brittle or cracky or whatever, and, crispy. Because it's so fun to work with, I just enjoy this part of the process, and therefore I kind of take my time with it. Like when you enjoy something, you want it to last longer, and you just, you don't rush it. So many double entendres in one conversation, it's ridiculous. But that's the thing, when I'm building just a model kit, like, you know, a tank or whatever, I don't have any interest in the building part. I just want to get to the painting, so I will rush it. But I don't feel the need to rush Games Workshop. So I do take my time. I am slow. And you know what? I'm slow and I'm proud. And you can say anything you want. You're not going to dissuade me from being slow. Slow. Slowosity. Oops. So I do take my time getting rid of every little last seam line. Of course, it does mean though that when I've built and painted something, I've spent weeks building and painting it, and I take those beauty shots, and it's only right, even after hours of Photoshop manipulation and colour balancing and stuff, only when I post it on Facebook and look back at the picture and think, crap, there's the world's biggest mould line that I haven't noticed for the last 6 months. Yeah, that always happens. But that does become a problem. Yeah. But I just enjoy it. I enjoy taking my time. It's relaxing for me doing this. I don't relax when I'm building a model unless it's Games Workshop. And then I really do, unless, you know, as long as it's not like, you know, Tempest of Silence. Yeah. Okay, so that's that bit done. Gentleman popping his weapon out. Okay, that's nice and clean. His weapon is nice and clean. That's been drilled out and is all seam removed. Mould line removed. Get rid of the schmutz. Let's do the gluing. Now we have the arms of gluing. Ja, das ist richtig. Das ist richtig. Slow and steady wins Le Mans, says Zorg. This is true. And you wonder why I've not watched the Fast and Furious movies. Captain Slow here. I am Captain Slow, really, when of building. Oops, stay. Stay. That line's all perfect. Look at that. Oh, it's lovely. Lovely pose. I love it. I do wish, when you build Space Marines, especially the new Primaris stuff, I do wish they had lots more interesting poses. Like, I know some of them are just, you're always going to have just people running around shooting weapons, but you get the odd one where he's like drawing his knife or whatever, and it's like, oh, why can't we have more of those? Give us more people doing interesting things. And not just everyone running around in the same pose. Wrong page. Yeah, that needs to go over the top of that one. So I've got to do this carefully. I don't want to knock that arm off now. That needs to go on there. I could have his arm up. I could have his arm down. I think it's a more natural pose, if rather than him actually shooting something, because he's kind of facing that way. If he's shooting something, then it has a certain look to it, because he's going to be looking where he's shooting. But if I put his arm down like it says in the instructions, like that, that to me is more dynamic, because he's not doing anything, he's not shooting anything, but it means he's going to be looking over there, and his legs are going one way, his torso's twisted round, his arm's pulling the knife out of the sheath. I think that's just a... Oh, there goes a mould line. A much more interesting pose. Much more dynamic pose. Yes, it'd be nice if they give you a lot more variation in, like, the actual poses. I mean, you need a number of them just stood there, like, waving the weapon around, if you pardon the expression, matron. But you know what I mean. Right, so get this on without messing up the glue and without... Oh, can't quite get my grip of his weapon. I can't quite grip his weapon correctly. It's a bit slippy. His weapon's all slippy. Oh. Wanting to... There we go. Stick in place, damn you. I'll probably get that round a bit more. it's just a bit more of an interesting pose as opposed to the regular pointing my gun at bad guys kind of pose, which is what you expect. And I appreciate that option. I'm not a big one for modding and cutting arms around and swapping and changing things because I'm far too lazy. That to me is a much, because he's going to be looking that way. It means he's moving in this direction. He's moving forward. Nearly spilt that then. I nearly had a dad device failure. Oh, I did. Oh no, slight spillage. Oh, hang on. Slight dad device failure. Oh no. How that happened. If I can mop it up without killing the lines. Yes. Look at that. Perfect. You'd never know. There you go. That was a Ted moment, that was. Got to leave that glue not on the plastic for a little while. Oh, feel coffee on it. Right, have I got a third dad device I can swap it out for? Not yet. Okay, not to worry. Not to worry. That was lucky. I'm going to put that on something. I'm going to put it on something neutral. I'm going to put it on there for now, because it's got a bit of a sticky bottom. I was lucky at that. Just managed to pat the glue away so it didn't make a mess of the lines. I don't want to have to buy a new cutting mat right at the moment. Yeah, so it's a more interesting pose. He's dynamic. He's moving towards. Well, he's moving in your direction towards you in the camera. He's doing stuff. He's not just standing there looking that way and pointing his weapon up and shooting something, which would suggest he stood still. This one, he's in the process of moving and changing weapons. I like it. Like he's just fired off a few rounds from his bolt pistol, and he's got to reload, but he also needs to just quickly kill something. So before he has time to reload, he's going to take his stabity out and stabity something. I like that. I like that. Rip 2. Did you just say One Piece? I did. Is it like Gundam White? Don't know what we're talking about there. I've lost that. Too late, folks. We know what you meant. I've forgotten what I said. Past the bleach, Fox and his Canadian fleshlight are now in my mind's eye and not a pretty sight. Ew. Dan says he's never going near his 3D printer again, because every time he tries to print something, I'm saying something double entendre-ish. Could you do the rest of the episode in a German accent? No, I'd be knackered by the end of it. I can't do this all the time. It's quite tricky, you know. Now we're going to glue this thing together. Let me show you my heads. I have many heads. It's actually quite doing a live stream for 3 hours is quite tiring on the voice. So doing a live stream in a dumbass voice for 3 hours is twice as tiring on the voice. No. Right, so I've got my little Space Wolves helmety heads. So yeah, I think they'll look much better with these silly Space Wolf heads that Andy Sutherland made for me. And that looks fantastic. Now, I don't need to glue the heads on yet, but I'm going to do these two just now. Give myself the super glue of happiness and the... Imagine it's only R4. No, let's do another figure first. Let's not do the super glues just yet. Let me put my heads back in my tub. Get back in there. Many heads. Oh. Right. Candygram from Mongo's in. Welcome, Candygram. How you doing, my friend? I think it's too late from swap weapons because someone already chopped his head off. Says Corner Man. Yes. Right, so we've done Captain Weapon Swap. Still got a bit of a sticky bottom there. There's my pen of happiness. Done him. Done him. Who's next? We've done him. This one next. This one looks like a... that's kind of a horse riding pose almost. Very strange. This one is going to be running and waving his pointy weapons. Ooh, matron. Matron! Fox, any superglue tips this week? No. I have learned no new things about superglue. Unfortunately. Don't eat it. That's a good one. think when I realised that all the things I made up in my brain about superglue were actually other people had done them, I'm like, oh, I'll give up now then. I lost the will to think about new things for superglue. It's Colin's fault. He totally destroyed it. I could have come up with many new ideas about superglue, but Colin totally took the wind out of my sails, and killed that before it was even born. D35, D36. I do actually have a tiny violin. No, I literally do have a tiny violin, literally. 35, 36. I'm going to want 37 and 38. That kind of makes sense. 37 and 38. Where's that bit? There's that bit. And for him, we're going to have some armolons. The armolons we shall have is, we can have a choice of boring or rah. I'm going to have that one. Always with the knives. We shall have, what do I need for that? D40 and D39. D40, D39. 39. Yeah, it's D39. D39. It's on here. I know it is. Somewhere. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one, you spoon. D39's a gun hand, you spongalon. Absolutely. D39 and D40. Let's try that again. 39 and 40, 39 and 40, 39 and 40. Right, there's 40. What I need now is D39. D39. Which is that one. Yeah, there we go. Nubs off. Get your nubs off. You run faster when holding your knife. Yes. I was trying to think of an amusing thing to follow that with, but I just yes, and then it stopped because my brain went, I'm out. I'm done. Thanks. Bye. Yes, so I don't know what to start this week. I don't know whether to do... I really want to start my Forge World stuff. But I also really want to do my Kshatriya. So, I don't know. There's other things I really want to do, really. That's the wrong file, dear boy. You want the other file. There you go. Lovely. Now, I have been, you may notice, and if you watch my stuff, I've said this anyway, I'll start that whole thing again because that sentence made absolutely no sense whatsoever. You'll notice in my latest videos over the last few months, I have made a few slight changes to the way things are filmed around here. We've made some changes to the way things are filmed around here. In that I can now have a camera on that side when I'm filming, not just on this side. If you're watching my painting videos up to recently, it's always been a case of this kind of view that you've got now. So I'm trying to paint something here, and all you're seeing is the back of my hand, and it makes painting little figures impossible. So I made some changes over the last few months, and I've got the option of having a camera on the left-hand side, which potentially makes painting figures, like this size figure, and filming that, well, it makes filming painting figures more feasible. Not really been something I've been able to do before easily and film it because of the angle of the camera. It's been a pain in the arse. So what I'm hoping is that in the coming months I can do much more figure painting, because I need to at some point make a start on my Warhammer Conquest Space Marine army, because I need to get that painted and stuff, so eventually I can get it sent to George, because he's getting all the Space Marines and I'm keeping all the Death Guard. I need to get them all painted up. But of course I want to film that. So I was hoping with the Lehman Russ, the episode that you're going to see in the next few days, I was hoping to get the include painting the Commander figure. But sadly, that wasn't possible. I tried, but because he was already mounted into the turret, and the turret's got this stonking great gun on the front of it, every time I move the turret around, I'd get the shot lined up and I'd be ready to paint, but as I'm painting I'm moving it around and the focus would just instantly switch to the big chod end of the turret, and it did mean that like half the footage that came out was just out of focus. In the end I gave up. I just I can't film this because all my setup now works for filming figures, but this big massive turret's just completely in the way. I wasn't able to include that, so what I'm hoping is I can actually now get a project going where I can paint some figures and film painting the figures. That's the one thing I've not been able to really do very well. When I have shown figure painting, like I did some Space Wolves on my Storm Wolf, it was really clunkily filmed because I was doing it with it up in the air, and I had to have a lot of grey background, and I had to take account of the camera angle, and it became really impractical because I was having to I was not painting in a natural position at all. I was contorting myself all over the place to be in shot and in focus. That's changed now, so hopefully that's something you'll start to see a bit more of on my channel. It may well be that I'd love to have it where I have my elbows on the bench and the figure up in the air to have like a simple background, like a white background, like you see on other people's painting videos, like on the Warhammer TV stuff, where they hold it up like that on the mounting handle and they paint. I'd love to do that, but it's not a natural painting position for me. For me, it's natural. It's having it down on the desk and doing it like this. So it may well be that it's pointing down and you've got the cutting mat underneath it, but that doesn't really matter. Now, when it comes to something like Mortarion, of course, I will have to do that up in the air because I can't have that pointed. Yeah, that's a big job. So that will be required. And what I want to do is I want to get Mortarion done at some point. I need to do a little test figure painting video just to see if it works. If it does, then I do need to get my Mortarion painted. I'll have to strip him down and reprime him because I never got past the priming. It was a bit rubbish. I want to do that because if I can do a good job with Mortarion, this is my promise. If I do a good job with Mortarion, and because I've never painted something that big before, a figure. If it comes out all right, and the model actually looks good, because it's a lot more. When I'm doing a little tiny figure, I can do a tabletop quality paint job with rough lines and splodgy paint because it's tiny. When I'm doing a big thing like Mortarion, of course, you can't do that. If Mortarion comes out nicely, then what I may do is actually spend some money and get Archaon the Everchosen, because that is something I do want to paint. Now, if I remember rightly, I could be wrong here. I think Archaon's Sigmar, not 40k, although I can't remember. He's got 3 of the heads. He's got Nurgle, Tzeentch, and the other one on there, Khorne, I think. I can't remember if it's 40k or Sigmar or both. I don't know. I think it's 40k, but it's just a beautiful model, and I want to paint it. I don't know if my skills are up to it, because you're painting a face on a figure like this. It's like Bugman's Glow, Reikland Flesh Shade, Canadian Flesh Tone, Canadian Fleshlight, and then your Kislev Flesh, and you can do in little simple patches just to get the impression of highlights and lowlights, because I haven't got the skill to paint properly on something that small. When it comes to a big figure, though, that's where the skill lies. So I really want to find out if my setup works for figure painting, which is brilliant, and then if that works, can I feasibly film and paint Mortarion? And if I can, then absolutely I want to do Archaon at some point, because that is a beast. That is a beast. If like an Imperial Knight is the simplest Warhammer model to paint, it's not, but let's exclude Hermagaunts and Termagaunts and things. If an Imperial Knight is the simplest complicated thing to paint, then the Archaon is the thing that's most furthest from it. But we'll see. It'll be something I'd be interested in doing. Get the new Be'lakor instead of Archaon the Everchosen, says Mordraka. It's a big dragony thing. What? How can I not do that? Got 3 heads and wings. I do like the new Be'lakor though. It's quite cool. I quite like it. I like the fact that the Be'lakor figure you can do in 40k or Sigma, and it's got a base for both. I like that. That's quite a good thing. You've got a base with a Space Marine on it, and the other base, I can't remember what's on it, but it's for that's for Sigma. But I'm hoping I can now paint figures, because I can't just paint the vehicles all the time, because I'm going to run out at some point. You'll have watched me paint 2 Lehman Russes now. I can't keep painting Lehman Russes forever. But you know what I mean. So I'm hoping it works out. We shall see. But I do need to get George's Conquest Space Marines painted up and sorted out at some point. So it's going to be a big project to get all that painted. But the beauty of it is, it's like I need to film. I may have like 30 intercessors, but I need to film painting one of them. The rest I can just paint off camera, so it won't take forever. That's not a nub. Okay. What's chat doing? We just love watching, says Chimchi. Do the Kshatriya, dude. You haven't done a gumplet in years. It's all good, says Chimchi. Burpulons. Do not get your nubs off. This is a family show. Ew. Mayhem's asking how Mrs. Fester is. Leaves nubs on the model to add detail, says Doug. Pro tip. Mayhem says do the Kshatriya. The only thing I've got with the Kshatriya is I've got to put it somewhere, and I've barely got space in one of my cabinets to fit it in. I wouldn't want to put it on a shelf because I won't have to dust that thing. I've barely got space to put it anywhere. And until I can start selling things and then clearing space in the shelves, I'm kind of a bit knackered. Whereas something small like a tank, I can fit that in my display cabinet, no problem. So that's my thing at the minute. We're up to. Dad says to Andy, but I don't know why. What Fox means he couldn't film the tank commander because he had a case of turrets. I see what he did there. Sarah Jane is Formula 1 is finished and I'm off ski to the gardens. It's nice and sunny. Bye all. Take care. Take care, Sarah Jane. Thank you for coming along. Despite everything you say about me, big hugs. I do appreciate when you turn up. It's comedy gold. So yes, thank you for coming in. Enjoy your garden. It's not actually sunny outside. It's not too cold today. We've got the heating turned off. We had the heating turned off, but it's all right. It's not nice and sunny. It's not quite garden weather. Not quite garden weather. I've got Be'lakor on order from my shop, says Muse. I also have the older small one that's out of print. Those wings, oh my god. Edward Leonard's in. Did he make the dude yet? I've made that one, and I've made that one, and I'm making this one. We've got that guy there. Shut up. Hey, Squishy King. Squishy hugs. How are the squishies? Tell me all about your squish. Oh, I forgot to tell you, by the way. Let me show you my balls. There you go. That's my balls on the bench. I've got my balls on the bench for you. My balls are arrived. They are ready. I've got my balls in a bag ready. My balls are hard. They're very hard balls. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're thinking, what? On Chris's channel, Gross Models, tomorrow at 9 PM, I think we're doing it at 9 PM, we're doing the Super Sour Challenge. These are 2 sour sweets. Caution, excessive consumption within a brief period may cause temporary mouth and stomach irritation. Acid-coated fruit-flavoured sweets with an acid centre. That's not making me feel happy about eating those. Wow, that exposure's well too high. Give me one sec, let me drop that down a little bit. Hang on. Wobbly camera time. Why is Task Manager open? I don't know. Let me just drop down the significant gain. Might go a bit dark now, but at least you're not getting blasted by everything. Yes, so it's basically 2 like gobstoppers, but they're supposed to be like the sourest thing ever, and it's a charity thing for the Scottish Association for Mental Health, or SAM, S-A-M-H, to raise awareness and obviously raise funds. And the challenge is just simply to try and eat one, keep one in your mouth for more than 20 seconds. So You actually just do the charity raising by buying the sweets, I think. All we're doing is we're doing a little bit of a hangout tomorrow night, because there's no e-model show tomorrow, because it's Bank Holiday Monday. So a big bunch of us are doing that tomorrow. Won't be a very long stream, just 10 or 15 minutes. We're all going to see how we'll get on. Should be quite good fun. But yes, there's been all kinds of jokes this week about balls. Live stream where we all just suck on our balls live on the internet. And I'm assuming that all our balls taste the same, so yeah, so much mileage, so much. I still can't fudging taste 3 hours on. I'm sure I burnt my tongue on the citric acid, says Sirens. Oh, because Si can't be with us live, so he's actually pre-filmed his. And he's 3 hours later, he can't taste it. Is it like when you eat something too hot and you've got that kind of burny thing? I don't know. See, my big worry is not that it's my teeth. I've got very, very. My teeth are in bad shape, so I can't eat sugar and stuff anymore. So I have to have an acid neutralizing toothpaste. So because of sugar acid, so me putting acid coated things in my I'm a little bit worried about that. I get the impression I'll be like suffering with the teeth for about 3 days. But you know what? It's for charity. And mental health charities are always commendable in my book. So I shall suffer the consequences. It should be good fun though. Diddly bomb, diddly bomb, diddly bomb. Don't know why I've got that blankety blank music stuck in my head, but I have, so you've got to deal with it. Chat is saying no comment. 10 to 15 minutes. Surely we're having a natter afterwards. I don't know. It's up to Chris. That's never going to be unfunny, says Muse. So I says, no, Fox, the balls are flavoured. Mine was apple, my aunt's was blueberry. Your aunt has balls. Cool. I'll be with you tomorrow. It's just easy with my setup to film it ahead. I'll be there. Oh, okay, on mic. Okay. Philly used to just finish with a nice Starship filth wash over the Porsche engine. It's satisfying pin washing in the oils. It is. It's very good fun. Chamchi says, I know you don't like politics, but... So I'm just going to stop you there. Yeah, don't do politics in my chat, please. Religion and politics, anything like that, is not in my chat. Because it just ends up in a monkey shit fight and people get kicked out. So yeah, don't do politics. If you don't mind. It's good that you said that, so I can just stop you before you type it. I won't be able to see it through my tears of sadness, says Colin. See, Colin and Mike are in exactly the same Facebook group that we're all in, all the moderators. But they never read what's in there. Well, Dad does. Colin doesn't. He always misses them because he's had to mute it. So they didn't know about it, and it's like, oh. But hey, they seem to be deriding me for it, but it wasn't my idea. I didn't plan it. Where's me? Oh, there it is. Right, now where's my drill bits? There they are. There you are. Why didn't you tell us? It wasn't my idea. It's nothing to do with me. It's Cy Reynolds. Blame Cy Reynolds for everything. There you go. Done. That one for the little side events. Yeah, so sadly Dad and Colin aren't with it because they don't have the sweets. They have no balls, apparently. There's too many jokes. You can't not make the jokes. That's why you want to be active in the moderator chat, Cole, because then you don't miss out on stuff like that. That's why I set that moderator chat up, although 90% of it is just nonsense and not anything useful. Are we? It's worse than Fox. It's pinned as an announcement in the Boom Hut, says Cy Reynolds. There is that. Yes, it's also pinned in the Boom Hut as an announcement. There's no excuse, basically. Their excuse is that Cy Reynolds didn't individually contact them, despite posting it in our moderator chat and on the Boom Hut. And I think it's been mentioned elsewhere. There you go. No fate but what we make, lads. You know how it works. Drill out the barrel. Not so confident on this one. It might not be in the middle. Let's find out. Risk it for the biscuit. Ooh, it's actually not bad. That's almost in the middle. That's almost slightly impressive. Me. Yeah. There, sticking to my finger. There we go. Tiny little drill bit. It's a tiny little drill bit that's... It's really tiny and great, but it's also like not pointy on the ends. It's kind of a bit useless sometimes. And it's also the most wibbly wobbly thing ever. Do. Have a look at chat in a minute. Another well-drilled barrel, I think, there you'll find. Most excellent. I want a little bit deeper. Let's go deeper. Probably shouldn't have made that noise after I said that, really, should I? It didn't sound good. I'm just going to... Now I've drilled out the side bits, I can go deeper with the barrel, so I can... I like to drill out the barrel all the way down to the gas vents. I don't know why, I just do. You don't need to. If I can do a proper like hollow barrel, then even better. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can only just like put a little sort of dimple in the end of it, and then you have to count on a null oil wash to darken it out. Go. And going back to what I was saying before about, you know, why I build slowly, because I'm enjoying the Warhammer stuff. I hate doing any kind of modding, moderating then, any modifications or cleanup or filling gaps and stuff. I hate all that. But yeah, I actually really enjoy drilling out barrels. It sounds really stupid, but I actually find it really satisfying. Especially, I mean, occasionally it doesn't work, but when it works and you get it right, it's like, oh, it's just so fun. When it works, it's brilliant. I need a solution for these drill bits so they don't disappear. I'll put my drill bits inside the drill bit. There you go. I'll put that drill bit on that magnet. Therefore, it's not going to go anywhere. Because it's tiny, it'll disappear at a moment's notice. So, there you go. Right, what's chat doing? Not if you get Vince in. Si and George get going, no one else gets a word in. Yeah, well, there is that. Not blaming you at all. Fox, just a platform to say is all humph. That's Colin's line. You stole that. That's Chris's line. You stole that from Chris. Champsy says bye bye. Okay, thanks for coming in. See you soon. Take care. May 1st is fought for. I don't know what that means. Don't know what May 1st is. What time is the ball sucking tomorrow? Says Bobbins. Hey Bobbins, at 9 PM. I think. Cy Reynolds says, don't know. Not been invited. Kvetching. Kvetching does not become you, Dad. Chris is in. Good afternoon, all. See, we talk about balls and Chris turns up. It's amazing every time. Where are we? Let's have a look. Progress pictures of the figure in the boot. Oh, it's jumped. Figure. I'll start that again. Nim says, progress pictures of the figure in the boom hut for any that are interested in looking at what I've been doing. Cool. Go and have a look. Hi, Dad. What was the chat about in the groups? Not. Hi, Dad. Was the chat about it in the groups not in capitals for you? And Dad says, what? He probably didn't spot the post because of his microphone. You know, it makes everything hard to read because it's. I'm just gonna. It's dark under this bus, isn't it? Kind of oily as well. This is why sometimes doing a stream on your own is hard work, because there's no one to like either A, throw under the bus or defend me, or you know that can counter defend me, because I'm sat here like Pithy on a rock out on my own, and no one comes to my defence. I have to fight my corner myself. Yeah, it's hard work doing a stream on your own, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't know. Right, see what time are we on? Coming up to 5 o'clock, that's not bad. I don't think we'll get these guys finished today in this stream, but what I will do is I'll get them finished later on or before next week. I can't be doing these still for another week. I'm kind of, I need to move on next. The next time, I may make a start on the Death Guard Combat Patrol that Mama Fox bought me because she's lovely. She said, I didn't know what to get you, and I didn't know what you needed, so I just bought you these. Is this all right? And I'm like, yeah. I just happen to have like a Death Guard army in my all built up and ready to paint. So giving me more Death Guard, always going to be the right option. Because I've got all the Warhammer Conquest stuff. My little Death Guard force. So yeah, kick ass. So I could start those, but then again, that's another like 25 weeks of building tiny little dudes, isn't it? Where's me? What am I looking for? There we are. When I could do, might be good to do a few weeks of building something slightly bigger than a tiny little dude. I can't think what else I've got to build. I've got me Valkyrie to build. I've got my Admech Dune crew, the hovercraft thing that was gifted to me. I need to make that. What else have I got? I'm not going to do my Forge World resin things on a live stream because I don't want to be live streaming resin, really, because I'd need to wear a mask to work on it, and that's not going to really work very well, for the sanding and stuff, and the cutting, burping, for the cutting and the sanding and the running and the screaming and the high with the Glaven. So it can't really do Forge World stuff. I could do the figures because they're not as sanding required, but then again, I'd have to do lots of swearing because it's Death Corps Krieg arms. So yeah, you ain't getting that on a live stream. No. What have I got? I've got my Valkyrie. I've got the Dune tank thing, hovercraft. I've got my Imperial Knight Renegade set, which is 2 Imperial Knights. I could do those. I built 1 million Imperial Knights, but it's always fun. Have fun with the 30 Poxwalkers from that combat patrol, says Mordraka. Oh, I've got more, because Cy Reynolds sent me a box full of Poxwalkers as well from the original Indomitus, or in whatever it was, Imperium set. So I've got all those, and more Death Guard, and the other Poxwalkers in the combat patrol. So I've already got like 30 Poxwalkers in the combat patrol. I've got all the ones I've got to paint, because the Conquest was about 40 of them. I think I've got about 100 Poxwalkers now. I know, it's too... Oh, she didn't know what to get you. She probably looked at your wish list when you weren't paying attention, says Nim. No, Mama Fox is 82. I was very proud of her that she was able to get onto the Games Workshop website and place an order. So Mama Fox tends to she tends to not read anything when she orders things. I've ordered this thing from Amazon and something turns up like, she accidentally ordered like, I don't know, 1,000 toilet rolls thinking it was a pack of 6, that kind of thing. Yeah. So it took her a while to figure out how to use Amazon. And I rue the day because the packages turning up all the time. So the fact that she was able to find the Games Workshop website and order some stuff, I was quite impressed. But she said, I didn't know what to get you. She doesn't know what Sigmar is. She could have bought anything. She doesn't know what Age of Sigmar is or 40k. So the fact that she managed to actually get Death Guard, I said, well, what made you go for Death Guard? She went, I thought they looked kind of cool. There you go, cool, done. So yes, I was very proud of her. I said, I'm very proud of you for spending money on me. I mean, for navigating your way through the Games Workshop website. Because if you think about it, if you think about the Games Workshop websites, if you're not... Remember what I was saying earlier on in the show about being something you take for granted... and you're like, oh, that's obvious. Yeah, somebody who's never done it might not know. If you've never been to their website before and you don't know how their store works, it's not the most intuitive of web stores. The way it takes you through the address process and everything else. It's not the most simplest, easy to figure out. It's not complicated. But for someone, who's very limited experience of online shopping, not the easiest. So I was quite impressed that she figured it out. But I always, whenever I get, we talk about things like that and the people not knowing how to do things, I'm always reminded of my friend Mart, who he says to me one day, he says, "Oh, I've had a nightmare." So why? He said, this is years ago, he said, "We got Sky installed." I'm like, okay, that's not a bad thing. He said, "No, it's fine." He said, "But I had to teach my dad how to use it." I'm like, okay, what do you mean? He said, "Well, you know, you get your remote and you get the on-screen menu and you can check all the channels and stuff. Up until that point, they'd had terrestrial TV with an aerial. So you just press the 1, 2, 3 or 4 on your remote control." He says, "So I had to teach him how to use it." I was like, "And why is that a problem?" He said, "Well, I said to him at one point, I said, so what so you get the menu up, and then what you do is you move the pointer over there, and you click on that." And his dad said, "What do you mean the pointer?" His father had no concept of graphical user interfaces or menus or pointers or he said, "Just highlight that." And he said, "What do you mean highlight it?" Because he never had to do computers ever. And this was like 20 years ago, but it's like he had no concept of pointers, cursors, menus, highlighting. And it was like, and my friend was just saying, just move down to that menu option and highlight it and click on OK. And he's like, what do you mean highlight it? What do you mean move to it? He's like, oh. And he realised it's possible for someone to have literally no understanding of something that you would consider completely basic knowledge. So anyway, yeah, so I always remember that when I think of that, people say, "How can you not know how to do that?" Well, there you go. So yeah. So I was very impressed. So she got me them. So I do need to get them built and painted up. Oops. Right, that's that leg done. Oh no, it's not. I've got the other side of the leg to do, you spoon. I remember when she ordered crisps and you got like 1 billion bags of ready sold. Yeah, she ordered some crisps. You wanted to order like, you get the little 6 packs of cheese and onion, 6 packs of... Because she likes ready salted. I like cheese and onion. So she went onto the Amazons. And she's like, "Ooh, pack of cheese and onion, there you go. Little 6 pack of, like you get 6 packets in a bag." No, we got a box with like 100 packets in each. It was the kind of box that arrives at a store. This big, massive cardboard box covered in Walker's logos. And I was like, "Mum, yeah, why have we got a box from Walker's that comes up to my waist? It's like as tall as a child. What have you ordered?" "Oh," I said, "Yeah, you didn't look at the numbers, did you?" "No." "Ah." Bless her. It's usually funny, but sometimes frustrating. But she tends to not quite read all the words and numbers sometimes. She got me a cushion. She got me a little sort of squishy gel cushion for my office chair because I sit in this chair all day every day, and it can be uncomfortable sometimes. I've got a big cushion that I sit on that's on there, but it's kind of getting a bit old and knackered. So she ordered me this gel cushion. It's like that big. I'm like, it's a really nice cushion. Can't use it because it's cutting off the blood to my legs because it's not big enough. And yeah, she didn't quite get it until I gave it to her and said, "You use it on your sofa because it's too small for me." And she put it on. "That's rubbish. Don't like that. That's too small." So there you go. Well, you need to read the words and the numbers when you buy things. Bless her, she does that. She loves buying stuff on Amazon now. As soon as she realised that every time she wants something, she can probably find it and buy it. She likes to pootle through Amazon and just see what's on there for sale. I've not quite educated her fully about don't click on links on Facebook. Yeah, the number of packages we have turning up from China, it's like, oh God, what have you bought now? I keep saying to her, if you want to buy something, you buy it for safety's sake, just buy it on Amazon. Don't buy something that's not on Amazon. As Neiman Marcus cookie recipe kind of scenario here. But occasionally she'll buy something on Facebook. It's like, don't buy things from Facebook. 99% of it's you're giving your credit card details to criminals. Don't. But bless her, she forgets. But yes, so it's cool that she can do that. But sometimes I rue the day that I showed her how to use Amazon. Sometimes it's like, oh God, what have you bought? But then she buys cool things. She did buy. I'm wearing it. You can't see it now, but I'm wearing a T-shirt now. It's got a picture of an X-wing on it, and it says Star Wars 1977, and it's all faded like it's a vintage T-shirt. I was like, that's really nice, and it's extra large, so it fits as well, which is nice. Because I'm old now, I need fatness in my T-shirts. Yeah, bless her. It makes her happy though, so at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But she didn't have to buy some stuff, I tell you. It's like she bought these. I was saying how we needed like a little light for the porch, so she bought these things. It's like a light bulb with a string on it, and you pull it. It's just an LED light in a plastic light bulb. You put batteries in it, but you can hang them up anywhere. They don't need to be wired in. Just so I've got one in the loft. It's kind of handy. But she bought like 2 boxes, and they said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, have we got? I need to go in the loft." I was looking for the torch, so suddenly this box turns up with another 20 of these light bulb things. I'm like, why have you ordered more? I thought we didn't have a light. I thought you didn't have any left, and that's why you had the torch for the loft. I'm like, no, I need the torch so I can wave it around because the lights aren't that bright. But she tends to buy things in boxes, and it's like, don't buy 20 of anything. More than we'll ever need. Bless her. Where are we up to? Let's have a good chat. Fox has the attention span of something. I've stopped reading. I bought a hinged boom and have now discovered that I need to buy or make an adapter to connect it to my blue snowball crap mic. Dope, says Candygram. It's the yellow one I avoid, Panzer. Yeah, PMSL, Mod Mayhem. Why are you saying that I've got the attention span of Patrick from SpongeBob? I'd probably know if I'd actually bother to read all the other comments. We've mentioned the Sunday streams to you. We have mentioned the Sunday streams to you, Fox, more than once. You were not paying attention. What? Hang on. We have mentioned the Sunday streams. Chris is getting a complex about appearing after the bowls. We have mentioned the Sunday streams to you, Fox, more than once. Were you not paying attention like us in the Boombook chat? I don't understand what we're talking about there. What have you mentioned? I bought what I thought was going to be a small quantity of plastic pipettes for transferring paint and received about a cubic foot of them. I've done that. I'll be slapped with other trucks as mayhem. I've lost track of chat now. Fox has a cushion that's getting old and knackered. I really don't want to know about it. Yeah. What are them lights? Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, the ones I'm talking about. No, they're just like crappy Chinese plastic. It's like a light bulb shaped piece of opaque plastic with an LED in it, and it's like they cost like £1 each. They're garbage. But I've hung a few up in the loft, and they're kind of handy. You just pull the string, and it lights the loft up. But yes, they're just kind of garbage, plasticky, crappy things. I wouldn't use them for anything. Really, to be honest about it. What we're talking about on the Sunday streams? What, Cole? I don't know what you. I'm lost. I don't know where that thread is. Oh, you mean about me being so? Yes, I know. That's what I know. About coming on the Sunday streams. Is that what you're talking about when I was saying about how there's no one to defend me? I mean, defend me from you and Dad. I'm sure joining a Sunday stream with you and Dad probably wouldn't help me at all. No, I know. I know. Sadly, I can't do more than this on a Sunday anyway, really. Because as soon as I finish streaming here, my job is to then go downstairs, do all the washing up, and make all the dinner. That's why I very rarely get to watch you and Dad do the 6 o'clock stream, because I have to go and do the washing up and make the dinner. So, and that's, that's by the time I've done all that and we've had our dinner, it's like 8 o'clock, 7:30. So, and frankly, by the end of the weekend, I've got to be honest here. By the end of Monday night, because you've got Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By the end of the weekend and end of Monday night, I am knackered. Because, I've got Fallout Friday, and then me and you, Cole, hang out on the Friday night on the Friday. Skyrim Saturday on the Saturday. I've got this on a Sunday, and then the Monday show free models on the Monday. By the end of the weekend, I'm knackered. It's poopy times. I'm like, tired now. So, I've got some glue on his foot flange. Try and mop some of that glue up. And the problem I've got as well is it's the 3-hour stream for me over the weekend is a bit of an ask anyway, because, you know, I look after Mama Fox, so 3 hours doing this is 3 hours I'm not, you know, looking after or hanging out with Mama Fox, so I'm reluctant to do any more than I already actually do. He looks like he's dancing. Hey diddly do, a dancing life for me. He looks like he's doing some kind of like Morris dancing pose. It's kind of weird. I splodged some glue on his ankle there, so I'm going to have to file that down when it's dry just to smooth it off a little bit. How that drip, must be a little drip somewhere. So he needs to be like that. Launching himself forward, launching himself, gentlemen, positively launching. Yeah, so there's really not a lot of scope for me to do a lot more. I do occasionally, like I'll occasionally get some extra time in, but doing a big long 3-hour stream for me is not ideal. Given my Mama Fox duties, I have to keep that in mind. So, doing more. What I do intend, flange. What I do intend to do at some point, and you know this, Col, anyway. What I do intend to do at some point is get Warhammer. How does this foot go on this base now? Is get Warhammer to Sunday. What? I actually put him on the base a minute ago, and now I can't figure out how he goes on the base. Does his foot? His leg's moving. That's why. God damn it! That's not right. That's not right. Now he's covered in glue, and his leg flailing around like a spoon. Right. So, yes, I do fully intend at some point to have Warhammer Sunday as not a solo show. But you know the issues, Cole. You know the technical problems we're having with that. So. I just need to get that sorted out. Right, let's try that again. Once again with feeling, yeah, that's his thing. I do like to sometimes have guys not right in the middle of the base. Especially when they're not actually in a sort of base straddling pose. I sometimes like to have them not quite in the middle. Oh, that looks a little weird, that pose. Maybe turn him around a bit. Sugar. Is his foot supposed to be on the ground? A little strange. I think I prefer to have his foot in the air, to be honest. Right that way. I'm going to leave him to sit for a second because it's a strange pose, that one. I think I know his foot's not supposed to be flat on the ground, but I think I like. No, he's not sticking very well. For some reason, he doesn't want to stick either, which is weird. I can see this one being awkward. Yes, I do intend to fully migrate Warhammer Sundays at some point to more than one person, more than just me. But it's also availability. Oh, this guy's being a right pain in the arse. Right, you, stay there. Do not move. Let's try with the leg up in the air. Let's try leaning forward. I'll try that. I don't like it. We'll try it. Yes, I do intend to, you know, it'd be great if like the Warhammer Sunday was like me and Colin and me and Chris and everybody else, but of course I'd have to make sure everybody else is around. But it'd be nice to have the option. But it's the StreamYard problem, so we'll figure it out. If that's what you're talking about. If you weren't, then I've just wandered off about that on a tangent for no reason at all. So you were not paying attention. You mentioned being lonely. Yes, I was paying attention. I remembered at the end. I know. It's just technical reasons. I'm not being lonely. I'm being undefended. Have your friends close? Your friends... What's the phrase? Have your enemies even closer? I don't know how it works. What's happening with the gaming channel with you and Christopher, says Killer Chief. Chris says, things slowed down, we're going back to work. More will happen sometime. Oh, you mean Team Inept? I started Team Inept with great ideas and then kind of never did much with it, apart from it was just I left it to Chris and Paul to do all the content. Yeah. Again, it's just down to time. Okay, that looks a bit better. That was a bit of a flunge. But the thing is, when I do these bases, they're going to have like a textured dirt or mud base anyway, so I'm not really fussed. I don't think I'm going to give my Space Wolf snow. There's a mould line on there. I'll have to work that out when he's glued in place. God damn it. Because I don't like doing snow. Snow very rarely looks any good, and also I can't be bothered. I think I'll just give them my standard Agrellan, earth and tufts. Because Space Wolves don't just fight in the snow, you know. A polite no can't be asked, no worries, was only idea for helping you out. No, that's not what I'm saying, Cole. What I'm saying is I can't get round the StreamYard problem in a satisfactory way, so I need to get that sorted out first. Are we getting the wrong end of the stick? Pointy finger. Sea Fox has an attention span of squirrel. Yes. Slides Fest 67's workshop, a big jug of luck, and then corrects it to cool. You need to play DayZ, I'll show you around. Not my kind of game, dude. I've no interest in that kind of game. Okay, can I put any more glue on there yet? He's going to be wibble and wobble. No. No. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Taste of touches. Yes, a little bit of clean up on his leg there. I've still got a little bit of a seam line or a mould line there. I don't want to put his arms on yet because I'll just ping him off the base because that would be arse, wouldn't it? Yes. Can I get another guy built? Probably not, but I'll start it while I'm waiting for his bits to dry. Space Hamster's in. Alright, that's it then. Baneblade. I'll start again. Alright, that's... wow. Hang on. Swig of water. Alright, that's them. Baneblade wheels painted black. Now I have to go over all of it again with Zimetallics. But not today. I'm out. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I didn't even realise you're in chat. Team Inept should get out and play Outriders since they seem to love Destiny and Skyrim. I'm not going to be buying any new games anytime soon. No. Right. We've got this one done. That one to do. So I need 44, 45, 46 and 47. 45, 46. No. 45, 44. There we go. Look at the numbers, Fox. They're the numbers that tell you the part. Not complicated. It is complicated for me, my brain. There we go. 45. Oops. When cutting plastic, it's best to actually cut the plastic. There you go. 45, 46, 46 and 47. Well, they will be probably, I would guess, the only two legs left on the sprue. That's always a good point to start, isn't it? Yes. 46 und also 47. Ja, das ist richtig. Pink and pink. Oops. And arm-wise, oh, I like that. I like that pose. He's got a pose here where he's kind of counterbalancing his bolt pistol on his arm with a knife in it. I like that one. We'll be having. I don't care about that. We'll be having that, I think. That's a bit of a ghetto brap, isn't it? So we want for that one. The arms would be 48 and 49. Yes. Excellent. I think I go more for the badass pose because it's just a badass pose. Irregardless of what weapon he's carrying, gameplay implications, he's got a badass pose. We need to know, innit? 48 is that one. There we go. Where are we up to? What's that then? It's cleaned up. Phil East is hooked on GTA Online and got a few old mates into a crew and we're having a right laugh. Yeah, no, I've not been into online PvP for a long time. I like online co-op, but that's about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not very open to new games, me. I like what I like. That's why I stick to me Skyrims and me Fallouts. I love Destiny for a long time, but I can't play Destiny 2 now. I just have to. I'm probably just going to uninstall it. Every time I go into Destiny now, it's just nonsense. It's like, hang on, what's this? 50 new currencies, and also which content can I not access now because I'm playing solo? Oh, let's just uninstall it. Yes. I'm like, wait, what? There's more silly currencies in Destiny? Wow. The sooner Bungie come up with a new IP that means they're not having to just, they can do a single player game again that I can actually enjoy, that'd be great. Because I love Bungie's games. But Destiny was never a single player game anyway. Which I knew, fair play, I knew that. But it's just turned into a grind fest. And you need to, it's not interesting to me anymore. So I miss having a good single player Bungie game to play. As soon as they actually get the finger out and build more, that'd be great. I just started Mass Effect Andromeda again. Not as great as the first game, but still a good game. I never played that one. I struggled my way through the original Mass Effect. I never finished Mass Effect 2. I had no interest in trying Andromeda. They were alright. But dear Lord, that Mako in Mass Effect 1, oh God. That put me off. There's a miracle I even finished Mass Effect 1 with that whole Mako thing, the way that vehicle handled. Oh, yes. I want to know how Dad's getting on, because Dad got himself an Xbox. And he got the Skyrims. Fallouts. And I want to know, Colin, have you installed was it going to be Skyrim or Fallout 4? I think you were going to play one of the two. You were going to give them a try. Has this occurred? Should do. I'm very picky with my games. I don't. It's a lot of money to spend on a game, and because I grew very weary even. I was a big first-person shooter buff back in the day, but I grew kind of weary of that after a while. Especially when you buy, you slash out on a game and you get like a 5 or 6 hour campaign. That'd be it. Thanks, done. Because the multiplayer had no interest for me, which is why things like Call of Duty, no interest at all, none. I don't do online gaming because most people are idiots. I don't want the toxicity, thank you very much. So, yeah, I'm very reluctant now to shell out on a game that's going to give me a handful of hours. After playing things like Fallout 3, Fallout 4 and Skyrim and things like that, yeah. A linear 7 or 8 hour campaign, it's not really worth my money. I love the fact that, I Fallout and Skyrim, Fallout 3, those games, we're talking 12 years now, those games have been around in one form or another, and I'm still playing them. That's more than the money I spent made it worth it. I got very jaded on first-person shooters and stuff. I just got really... I enjoyed, say, Borderlands co-op play, but the problem with that is the people that I used to co-op play with, they've all moved on. They've all had kids. They don't get time anymore. All my friends and stuff, they're all doing other things now. And I don't like playing... I don't really like... I only like co-op play when it's somebody I know in the real life anyway. Kind of weird to say, but Yeah. Not really my thing anymore. I like me long single player campaigns. Horror and action stuff. Yeah, horror never interested me anyway. So I'm very reluctant to spend money on video games if I can avoid it, because I know most of the time I'm like, well, I'm either bored or disillusioned, or I finished it and I'm like, was that it? I used to be so into Halo and stuff. Play that for weeks and months and years. Go play the campaign millions of times, but I just got bored of it at the end. Outgrew it. Only so many times you can play the same campaign. Chat doing Gears 5 was good, running the story. Gears of War was good, says Killer Chief. Not done Daisy, I shall look into it, says Chris. My Xbox account is 18 years old. Yeah, mine was 2007, I think. 12 or 13 years for mine. I'm very old. I didn't have an internet until, late 2000s. It wasn't like 2007 or 8 before I even had anything other than dial-up. So, yeah, Xbox Live was never really an option for me. Not really. Not on dial-up. Don't mix up with the other guy. That could get confusing. Get what I can get as much as I can done now before we finish. Don't forget, of course, once I've finished here at 6 of the PMs, you need to head over to Scaly Models channel, which is Tracy Scaly Models. For the in-between show, Dad, do feel free to put a link in the chat, of course, because I can't. Which is Dad and Colin doing their little hour stint, which sadly I always get to miss because I've got to go and do the dinner and stuff. So yeah, I usually get to miss. So make sure to go over to Dad's channel, which I'm sure Dad will post a link to momentarily, to watch Colin and Dad. And then at I'm gonna guess it's 9 o'clock. I haven't checked on his channel yet. It's Ted's week for Warhammer Sunday this week, I think. So make sure to go over to Skipper Scale Models. Emails. Yes, go over to Skipper Scale Models and watch Warhammer Sunday from Ted. Ted's Warhammer Sunday. I'm not quite sure what he calls it, actually. Sunday is the busy day for streams and content. Oops. I've got to get rid of the nub, but without sanding away or scraping away the little bit of moulded strap, which is kind of frustrating. Dad's put the link in chat for you for the show tonight. Thank you very much, Dad. Yeah, do go and watch it. I rarely get a chance to watch it because I'm doing the dinner and stuff, unless we decide to have a takeout, which is a bit of a pain, because I'm never going to turn down a bit of extra Dad and Cole content, but I have a choice. Where's me? There it is. I'm not sure what Ted's working on. Is he still doing the Valkyrie? I think he's still doing the Valkyrie, isn't he? The Valkyrie, the Hydra. He's still painting the little figures for his Hydra. I'm guessing that's 9 o'clock, but I'm not fully sure. I haven't checked his page. Chris puts the link in as well. I think that's to Dad as well. Might just about get this guy glued together. What time are we on? 25-2. 25-2. We can certainly get the arms glued on the other guy, I think, before we go. I'll probably get these guys finished off, like I say, like tonight, or I've got a lot of editing to do tonight, but before next week's show. So I'm not sure what we'll be working on next week. Maybe the Death Guard. Maybe something else. Maybe something else. Again, it's all coming down to space. I'm having to work on stuff that I know where I can put it when I've finished it. So that's the problem. The Warhammer stuff I can store in my little skirmish boxes and things, and got some storage boxes for built and unpainted things, but other stuff is more tricky. Phil East, right on my way to grab some food. Thanks for the stream, Fox. See everybody later on. Thanks for coming in, Phil. Take care, my friend. See you soon. Oh, ping. Pingularity? I think not, sir. That's an annoying little mould line on his back of his leg there. Can't quite get the... Yeah. There we go. His rubber undersuit. Rubber, you say? Rubber. Okay, that one almost cleaned up. That honking great bit of mould line in that recess. Sam Reynolds, do the Kshatriya dude have a break from 40k for a couple of weeks? You've had a kit for years. I know, but it's just where I've got nowhere to put it when it's done. That's the problem. I literally have nowhere to put it. That's the problem. That is the problem, you see. Much as I may want to do it, even on a mercenary level for the views, I just literally have nowhere to put it when it's done, and it's not exactly small. Das ist nicht ein tiny Gefahrten. I've still got 2 left to do. That's just not a tiny little thing, so yes. Yes. But I also know that Colin's got his as well. I don't want to be like doing mine while Colin's doing his, because that's not very fair. So I probably won't do it. You know, primarily because there's no space for it, but also, like I say, Colin wants to get his done, so I don't want to shade Colin when he's doing his. Same way I didn't do my Baneblade when Chris and Ted were doing theirs. No, it can wait. It can wait. It's fine. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Besides, I'm not actually fully decided on a colour scheme yet. Let's be perfectly honest. My belly's making rumbly noises. Rumbly noises. I got that sanding sponge all the way over there. I don't quite know how things go round on my desk. Because the thing with me is, you know, I take forever to do something, so I don't want to start doing, say, the Kshatriya, and then now I'm going to be doing it for like another 12 months, and be taking a spotlight away from Cole doing his. So, let Cole get his done first. I'm in no rush, like you say. It's been there for like 2 or 3 years in my stash. I do have some HG kits. I mean, I could always do a palette cleanser HG of some sort. That I can fit in my cabinet. It's only an HG though, right? Its footprint is surely small enough. No, it's the size of a master grade. It's massive, but it's also got the 4 big binders, so it's like that wide. It's like it's as wide as an iPad and as tall as a master grade. It's kind of big. Kind of really big when you put it out, and I have to have the binders out in a cool pose. I couldn't just have them like flat. Have I gone deaf or is Fox's mic muted? No. Oh, hello. Burpage. You should buddy build them in that case, says Saran. Ooh. I do need to build it at some point. Whether we did that on a Friday, on one of the Friday streams, like me and Cole building our hatcheries. But again, it's just literally the question of where to put it. I don't know where to put it. I've got nowhere. I've just got stuff piling up because I can't sell anything. So I've got stuff piling up in cabinets and on shelves. Where's that? Do a random HU with an SG or just a palette cleanser? Yeah, I might do. We'll see. So I'm not fully decided yet. Oh, I know what I do need to do. I do need to at some point do my my yakitori octopus ball truck. I need to do that. I could do that. That might be interesting. Although, I don't know. We'll see. There's many things I need to build. I need to basically go into my stash room. I won't know until the day I go into the stash room to start and look around the room and see what leaps out at me. Because I know if I sit here and say my next build will be, by the time it gets to that point, I'll have decided, I'll have chosen, so I'll have been like, I don't really want to do it now. Or I'll decide that like a week after I start. So I need to be honest to myself and say, I'm going to go in the room and whatever jumps out at me at that exact moment is what I will build next. That's probably the best way to do it, I think. Probably the best way. There we go, that's that bit. Scrapey, scrapey. Khajiit can scrape more lines if you have coin. But yeah, I need to, just because I have such a fickle mojo, I have to make sure it's something I want to build. So if I walk in that room and look at something and go, oh, I need to build that right now, then I'll be like, right, that's what I'll do. Because at least then I've got the best chance of not getting bored of it after a week. I'm so fickle. I really am that fickle. Something I have to be wary of. You know, it's just the way I am. Some people are great. They start a build and that's it. I am so fickle. And I don't mean like easily distracted. I mean, I get bored of things so fast. Even something I really want to do, I can get bored of, like within a day. There's been builds that I've looked forward to for a long, long time. And as soon as I start the build, I'm like, I'm bored now. Don't want to do this now. That's the worst feeling. It's, you know, if you're just doing it for yourself, it's fine. But when you've started filming a series and you're doing it and you're like, I don't want to build this now, you're like, oh, that's not really an option. He's not muted, you've just tuned out his rambling. It'll be a kit you've totally forgotten about, but that'll just make you enjoy it more, dude. Defo the best way. Yeah, probably. Have you got any aliens models? No, they're not. No. I have no aliens models. I'm not the biggest fan of aliens and stuff like that, to be honest. I like the vehicles, but no. The thing that I know myself so well is I can't afford to invest in something that I might not like, because I've got to really, the way I look at it is I have to look at a model and say, oh God, I really want to build that, to then spend the money on, because I know, like I say, how easily I get bored. If I'm getting bored of something that I really wanted to build, like a week into the build, then if I've got something that I'm like, yeah, I might build that, then after about 10 minutes, it's not going to end well. So I have to want to build something before I know I can then get that kit, because I'm so easily bored of things. It's a nightmare. I don't know what it is. It's just the way I am. Like I say, even things I want to build, I get bored of. So I've learned that over the years. That's why I'll never have a massive out of control stash, because I need to have that. I need to build that. I need to have that thought in my head before I even spend money on something. Or, you know, have it in my stash for any reason. No, don't send me any aliens models. Don't send me stuff. That's what you were thinking. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I have to really have the urge, you know. I had that, but that's the tricky thing. It's never guaranteed. Like, I had the urge, like, I need to build the space battleship Yamato. I need that. I need it now. But by the time I got the kit, and I knew it would be a couple of months before I got to build it, by the time it got to me being able to build it, I was like, I'll build something else. Still there in my stash. I won't get round to it. I know how fickle my tastes are, and sadly they're never going to change. Right, well, I get the arms glued on this guy. He's doing the aiming with the gun, and this is going to be a little bit tricky because he's got to have the gun in one arm. That's not even the... What? That's not the right... Oh, it's the other one. No, that's wrong. I thought this was the guy aiming over his sword, but it's not. It's the other guy, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, there. So this guy is running and stabbing. Over there. I need to finish in a moment because I need to clear the runway for Dad and Cole. So we'll get these arms glue-head on, and then we'll probably call it a day. There we go. Squish. That went on rather seamlessly. Always makes me nervous when things go according to plan. Glue. Glue. Oh, drip glue. Oh, what is... Do you know? I think I've got one of these pots of Tamiya where it dribbles and leaks. You get them occasionally. But I think I've got one of those funky, faulty pots. Does the little thing come out the lid? Let's have a look. No, see the rings in the lid, but occasionally you get a Tamiya pot where there's just no... You get the brush out and it just glue's just dripping out of the brush lid. I think I'm going to be careful of that. It's twice now it's done that. Probably how I got glue on that guy's foot. Oh, I must be wary of this. Because the last thing you want to do is get glue dripping on your bench you don't know about, and then you put your hand on your bench and then you've made a mess of your bench. Look, that's a nice pose, that. Messy bench times. Right. Put glue on that. Cool, that's that one done. And I think what we shall do is take my lenses off. What we'll do is we shall leave it there. I'll go and get the rest of them built up anyway, because I've only one more to build, and then I've got that guy to build, and then it's putting all the bits on. So I'll get all that done before next week. And then next week we'll work on something. I'm not sure what yet. I'll figure something out. Quick last look at chat. Spids in, mad spurt of DIY and tidying the kitchen and vacuuming. What did I miss? And not much. Fox is rambling, says Cy Reynolds. Absolutely. How many models do you have in kits to build? I don't know. Probably, I don't know, 50 or 60 in my stash, I suppose. Not a lot of space. That's resin though, Killer Chief. Fox hates resin with a passion. The Ed 209. Yeah, I don't do resin. I have no interest in resin at all. I've got like some Forge World stuff, but that's Warhammer, so I'll make an exception. But resin, I don't get on with resin at all. And the Ed 209, it's silver and a little bit of greys and blacks. It's not that much of an interesting paint job, to be perfectly honest. It's just basically silver. Not a lot of weathering potential. Yeah, not resin. No, not. Anyway, yes, that's going to do as I think. So I'll get these finished off and get them built up. In the meantime, don't forget, of course, thank you everyone for watching today. If you'd like to help support this channel, you can do. Please, if you're not already, please do consider becoming a patron or a channel member. You can either go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can go and click on the join button underneath any of the videos on my channel. That will allow you to become a channel member. Either way, you'd be supporting the channel directly. You're literally putting food on my table, and you're helping this channel stay alive. So if you would like to help out, do please consider becoming a patron or a channel member. I will be back tomorrow night for the Sucky Ball Challenge thing on Chris's channel, Gross Models. But like I say, go and watch Colin and... We're on 10-2 now. Go and watch Colin and Dad over on Scaling Models in about 10 minutes. And then it's Ted tonight on his channel for his Warhammer Sunday episode, so go and watch that. And don't forget, of course, there's no e-model show tomorrow night because it's a bank holiday. So that's why we're doing the Sucky Ball thing. And I shall see you throughout the course of the week. I'll get the next Lehman Russ episode up Monday, Tuesday maybe, and then that'll be an early access for a week, and we'll see what happens next after that. But until then, don't forget, of course, actually, I was going to say don't forget, and then I don't actually know what I was going to say after that. I don't know. Yes, anyway, don't forget, go and watch go and watch Colin and Dad. I will see you all very soon in the chats for various streams. Until then, I shall make sure my buttons work.
Slap it on.
Yes, button's still working. I shall say take care of yourselves, go make something awesome, go be awesome, and until next time, adios amoebas.